I don't think anybody's gonna watch this, but you know.
Yeah, you never know.
Well, I mean, that's just the thumbnail. So
we don't. I blame that on Aaron.
I'm fine with it.
He made us. He had people outside our house threatening us.
Exactly. Yeah, I was under duress when I did the podcast. Behind on my left, a man had a gun to my head.
Yeah.
This is all on video.
Hey, that's all right. This is our plea for help. We're telling.
Are we rolling? Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
And we're about to be rolling live too.
There we go.
I love
live, baby.
Cool. Hello, people and the internets.
Yes, the people in the internets. I love how you added the unnecessary S's. Internet.
Yeah.
That's what you do to be hip.
Did you know it's just a series of tubes? That's all the internet is.
Mm-hmm. It is. But
I'm putting out my phone in case I see comments. The mystery ghost comments. I hope they pop up.
I seen them for for my I got it to work for the restream thing the last time.
Okay, cool.
Oh, cool.
Fucking TV and forgot.
Very good. You got us on the TV?
Well, because I have my laptop set up through my TV.
So you're watching TV while you do this, and you needed to mute it. I see. Okay.
No, I'm watching the show while I do this because
you're watching the movie now while you do this.
Yeah. It's got a split screen. Half is the pod, half is the movie.
What a lazy son of a bitch.
Yeah, no, he's like, hold on, I'm not there yet. You guys are going ahead. Let me catch up.
Anyway, those lovely, lovely viewers out there. Today, we are doing Batman, and I'm going to keep this 4-screen thing for this episode.
I like it.
We're doing Batman Returns from 1992. And, I mean, I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves. I'm your boy, Sir Sturdy. You know, this is the Z Network. This is Popcorn and Pints. I'm also the host of Horror with Sir Sturdy. And right down here below me is the other black guy. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. Hey, my name's Ibrahim. So I run a podcast network. It's Deep Focus Cinema. So if you look up Deep Focus Cinema podcast, you'll find all my stuff. So I was here last week when we talked about Batman 89, and I'm here for Batman Returns. I always love talking about Batman. He's awesome. And these are some fun films to talk about. So yeah, excited to be here.
Who are you throwing it
to? James.
People might notice me from Horror with Sir Sturdy. I'm one of the co-hosts for Sir Sturdy's podcast right there. And I don't have my own podcast, but you'll see a lot of me on other podcasts, Popcorn Pints, Horror with Sir Sturdy, etc. So, and now it's Chris.
Yeah, I'm Chris. I of course host Stories from a Bar. Actually, just put out a new episode today, talking to a lot of brewers, bar people, and just drinking and talking to people with interesting stories in the 518. You'll catch me, so check out that podcast. Gonna hopefully be a regular here on Popcorn and Pints, drinking, talking about entertainment, movies, and stuff like that. And all on the Z Network. So back to you, AA Ron.
I want to say something. I'm going to make an announcement right now that I didn't even discuss it with you guys, but I'm going to say it anyway. So, as you guys have seen, we did the original Batman movie from 89. We're doing Batman Returns tonight. We're going to do every single fucking Batman movie. After this, we're going to do the shitty two. This group right here, we're going to do the shitty two. Better next.
News to me. All right.
The ones, not necessarily in a row, but we're going to be doing them all because it just makes sense. You know, you can't just have somebody
absolutely
that hasn't been here, and like you can't exclude somebody. If anything, we'll have an addition, but we will not have a subtraction. Math, motherfuckers, math. Catman, Catwoman surviving. That was so cool. Yeah, it was awesome. Not sure who said that because the restream thing didn't really pick it up. So pick up your name yet. So what I will say, people, is when you comment here, could you say your name until restream starts acting right? And we're gonna do something else. This I did discuss with Chris. I didn't discuss it with you two. Well, Chris actually discussed it with me.
I did.
Yeah, we're actually going to do a synopsis for this movie. We didn't do it last time because
Oh yeah, I figure we should probably throw out a quick synopsis of what actually happened in the movie since it's 30 years old.
Yeah.
Christopher Cobblepot is going to take care of that for us.
I am okay. Again, news to me.
I didn't know anything about this, so
No, just a quick synopsis.
Wait, there's a format? What?
I mean, there's a synopsis. So, the monster is Penguin who lives in the sewers beneath Gotham, and I'm just going to read this because there's no way I'd remember everything. So, the Penguin who lives in the sewers beneath Gotham joins up with wicked, shock-headed businessman Max Schreck, played by Christopher Walken, to topple the Batman. Of course, Michael Keaton. Once and for all. But when Shrek's timid assistant Selena Kyle finds out and Shrek tries to kill her, she is transformed into sexy Catwoman. She teams up with the Penguin, who's also trying to kill all of Gotham's firstborn children, by the way, and Shrek to destroy Batman, but sparks fly unexpectedly when she confronts the Caped Crusader. That was it.
Okay.
Nice synopsis. Basically, it's Batman, Penguin, and Catwoman. There's a duck, as you guys see behind me, another duck, same duck. And I'm just gonna jump. Listen, I'm skipping ahead. I'm gonna jump to what I'm drinking, getting ready to drink.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
It's Dwarf Invasion. It's a I'm more into ciders. I like a flavorful, sweet kind of beer. And it's made with cherry mead and hops. Not a sponsor, but again, holla at your boy if you want to be one. Pretty cool cover, pretty cool label. I love the label on these. Nice and cold, just at and because of the Popcorn and Pints logo, I have to use the glass to that shape. So yeah, that's what I'm sipping on.
There you go.
You, I know you're drinking.
I am. I'm on beer number 5, and I saved the hard stuff for the show. I was drinking some 5% brown stuff from Brown's Brewing, which was delicious, and now I've switched to an 8%. Other half hops only Imperial IPA.
Nice.
So that's what I'm rolling with here in my pint glass.
I'm drinking a real man's drink, coffee.
Coffee at 9:00 at night. All right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It don't affect me. I can drink a pot of coffee and still go to sleep.
I have a mystery drink.
Mystery drink.
Maybe it's a mix. Maybe it's a couple things. Who knows?
That's the mystery.
Drop of acid.
Before we get started, how about a cheers to everybody?
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Sure. I almost had a wave of coffee fly at my laptop.
That would have been pretty bad for you.
Yeah, it would have.
Not bad. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Not too sweet, not too bitter. It's like in the middle. I like it.
Looks like wine.
It does.
Well, you were drinking all your hard watermelon stuff earlier.
Mike's hard watermelon. Yes, I had to. You see,
wait. You just said Mike's hard as a watermelon?
No, that's not what I said. I said Mike's hard watermelon, which doesn't sound any better. Okay. But I'm talking about. Forget it.
There you go.
I can't talk my way out of it. Like if I say I'm talking about what I got from the store, it could sound bad. If I'm talking about the beverage, that's gonna sound awful. So we'll just skip that. We'll skip that. I had a watermelon flavored alcoholic beverage earlier.
Interesting.
Thank you. I think. So, how was everybody's day today? How's everybody doing? Everybody that's watching, how are you guys doing?
Good. It was a busy day.
Same here.
Living the dream, man. Living the dream.
Did some overtime. Rake the yard up.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I was playing a lot of video games and starting to get PlayStation thumb. That's a real ailment, and I had to take a break.
I remember those days.
What have you been playing?
I've been spending the last few hours playing Godfall.
Okay.
Which is quite fun. Maybe a little repetitive, and for fuck's sake, if they could just put in a map of the area, that would have been great.
And this is PS5, right?
Yeah. Oh, you know it.
Yeah.
5 people. 1, 2, 4, 5.
Cinco.
Yeah, for my Puerto Ricans out there.
Aaron can count.
He got like 2 of the Spanish numbers out of it.
Oh no, I got uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco.
Oh, okay, there you go. I thought you skipped like the last.
Oh no,
three.
I did
Like 1, 2, 5.
1, 2, 5.
1, 2, 5. So yeah, man. Batman Returns. Chris read the synopsis. Great fucking movie, by the way. And to me, it still holds up to when I watched this as a child. Like, again, it came out in '92. I was born in '85. I don't know how old I was when I seen this,
Math is hard.
but no, I just don't remember how old I was when I first seen this.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
No,
either.
that's a fair point. I don't remember.
I remember this film when it came out, and I remember, and so when it came out, I was like 4 years old, right? So I was very young. I remember begging my parents. So like I remember walking past the marquee, like at the theater, and seeing Batman Returns and seeing the poster and being like, I want to see that movie. Please let me see that movie. They're like, no, it's too dark. We're not gonna let you see it. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then, later I rented the first one and then watched the second one. But yeah, I remember when this came out and being very, very young, and like even then being like, I want to see this. This is for me. But this is definitely darker. This is definitely darker and weirder. And he went full weird. One of the things I really like, so like right at the beginning of the film is this little story about the origin of Penguin. And freaking Pee Wee Herman is the Penguin's dad.
I was gonna say that Paul Rubens plays his dad in the first.
Paul Rubens is his dad.
I totally forgot about that.
And
so great.
And that again, that's because
they dump him. They just throw him into the freaking water, and they're like, "Bye bye."
They still do that in Florida.
Well, they feed you to a gator, right?
Yeah, that's how that works in Florida. But again, it's Paul Rubens because Tim Burton directed Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which I had that's not something you would ever associate.
True.
Yeah, it's just that's a great cameo. That's a great cameo because you're just like, okay, if Pee Wee Herman is the Penguin's dad, that's so bizarre and it's so Burton-esque and weird.
But I also feel like it's almost the origin story of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles spin-off movie. Like the baby goes into the sewer. He could have came out trained by turtles. At the same time.
He's like the one human.
Yeah. Instead of adopted by abandoned penguins from a closed zoo.
That would have been a good sequel to the first movie. It's like someone this freakish child gets dumped, and then they're like, they gotta raise the kid. It's 4 turtles and a baby,
4 turtles and a baby. That just sounds like a movie title right there.
Yeah.
Right up Aaron's alley.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'll have to write the script for that.
There you
I like that.
I'll watch it. Aaron will take the lead role. He'll do it. He'll play the baby.
He'll play Splinter. He's got to do like a Fu Manchu voice.
I'll also say Danny DeVito makes a great Penguin, man. They looking into that and doing a little research after I watched the movie. They wrote that role specifically for him. Basically, I mean, there's not a lot of people that fit that description of just short, kind of fat, and
You'll never pay me to wear that bodysuit, though.
Oh my god,
no,
that is the ugliest thing.
But you know who actually suggested DeVito for the role was Jack Nicholson after playing the Joker.
Because of the money, the financial gain he was selling them.
Yeah. Nicholson made so much money, and then he suggested DeVito, so DeVito was in, and then they're like, that's perfect, and then they just kind of wrote the role for him.
But I have another hot take, really quick. I'm sorry, Chris. It just hit me. Now, I remember last week when I said Tony Stark, best character they've ever chosen for a role, like look wise. I want to say the same thing, and I know they did the makeup. I know it was practical effects with the makeup and all that shit, but I feel like Danny DeVito was the perfect character to play the Penguin because, again, like Chris was just saying, he's short and fat, just like the Penguin is, and like he played that role just amazingly well, just like acting that role out as you really, when you look at him in this movie, you really feel like he's really the Penguin. Like when I watched this, and again, I wasn't into the comic books, but the cartoons, it's like that Penguin to me. And I think that's just amazing how they portrayed that. And Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, dude.
Oh my God,
super sexy.
Probably one of my first boners.
Oh, is that the direction we're taking this show in? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, she was one of my first crushes.
She looked really good in this movie, and she played the role so well. Again, like a real seductive but tough, don't play games kind of shit. And again, from the cartoon, it's that same kind of vibe. From the animated series, it's that seductive, tough kind of shit, kind of silly. And like I like how when she has those I love her one-liners. I don't remember them, but I love the one-liners, and she has those in the cartoon as well. And I like how, like she lets people go a lot. Like when she's breaking in somewhere, like with the cops in this movie, she let the security guards go in this movie. And I just like her role. She's pretty much like, she didn't say these exact words. Actually, she didn't say these words at all. She's pretty much like, look, you don't want to fuck with me, just leave, because I will fuck you guys up. And
didn't they say
that
I don't get paid enough for this or something?
Say it again.
Don't they say I don't get paid enough for this or something?
They say our take home was 300. She's like, you're overpaid. And then
that's right. Yeah.
But I mean, Catwoman's always been an interesting character because they've always towed the line with her that they can write her character to be either good or bad in the moment, and it suits the moment. It's pretty fascinating compared to some of the other comic book characters out there.
You know what it is though, because her and Bruce Wayne have a thing, and then as Selena Kyle and Bruce Wayne, and then as Catwoman and Batman, they have a thing like that sexual kind of
tension.
Yes, the sexual tension, the lust, and the possible love. It's like all mixed in one. More dangerous, obviously, as Batman and Catwoman, but still, it's crazy.
On this movie, she was like fighting a split personality.
Yeah.
So,
James, you mentioned Danny DeVito's costume. It took him like 4.5 hours to get all that makeup on when they first started.
Yeah, I seen the breakdown of them doing the makeup.
Yeah,
like, they're putting the pieces on, and I'm like, I don't know how actors can sit through there.
I mean, eventually,
a big chunk of money just for that.
Oh yeah, eventually he said they got it down to like 3 hours, but when they first started doing the Penguin costume, it was like 4.5 hours.
That's ridiculous, man.
I really was impressed by the nose. Like that nose, there's a couple shots like where they introduce him to like basically his campaign staff, and like you really see closest of him, and his like it's like perfect. It's like it is super pointed, but it looks real, and it's just like so, just like Aaron said, so right on the comic book way it looks. Like here's this weird short guy who's got a penguin nose and penguin hands, just came out of the comic into real life. It's great.
It's funny you say that because they were one of the Academy Awards they got nominated for was Best Makeup. So that goes obviously probably mostly into creating the Penguin.
Yeah, for sure. And
Definitely.
They did so good with it.
But I was also reading up on Michelle Pfeiffer's costume because, I mean, she was great. She was smoking hot Catwoman like you would expect. I mean, that's the character. But just made out of latex. I think I was reading this today. They made like 60 latex cat suits. All of those at the time were $1,000 a piece.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah. And and they painted the rubber silicone stitches on.
Oh, okay.
Silicone stitch. So those stitches weren't real.
If you look closely, you could tell something was off, but I didn't expect it to be painted on though.
And she basically had to cover herself in talcum powder to even get that suit on.
Wow.
Yeah, the whole scene where she transforms into like Catwoman is like really great. It's like one of the best scenes of any, like the origin of X character.
It's real powerful. It's really freaking powerful. And I mean, looking at it now, especially with like a lot of how nowadays is more of like a female empowerment movement. That was like one of those movements. Like it was like ahead of its time in a sense. You know what I mean? Like how it is now, like, right in your face. Back then it was in your face, but you just didn't know it. You just seen her kind of becoming the villain or the person she always was deep down. Cause she always had, like as Selena Kyle, before she gets pushed out the window, she always had like this rage with her that she just didn't know how to release. And she finally, as you could see, she finally releases it as Catwoman. And it's such a epic, powerful, beautiful, creative way.
By the way, that name Selena Kyle, I think, is an awesome name.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great character name.
great. Hell yeah, it is.
It's a sexy name that rolls off the tongue too.
Yeah.
One thing I find funny, so they do, this is kind of the classic stereotype where they do like, oh, when you're not hot, you wear glasses, and then when you're hot, you stop wearing the glasses, and suddenly you're hot.
And it seems like more of a DC Comics thing with Superman.
Yep.
You don't know who he is just because he's wearing glasses, and then you take him off. Or like, oh shit, it's Superman.
Yeah, it's definitely like you see it in other movies too. Like I think they did that in like Devil Wears Prada. There's a bunch where it's like, oh, I'm a little dork and a nerd and I wear glasses, and then like, oh, now I'm really beautiful and I don't wear glasses and my hair is like big. Yep. I just thought that was funny. It's like, how can we make Michelle Pfeiffer less attractive? Let's have her wear glasses. Like, it doesn't really work, but okay, you're trying.
One of the things I noticed when the scene where Christopher Walken pushes Selena Kyle out of the window to kill her. She falls all these floors on her back. She's falling backwards, so she's hitting her back on everything. And when they show her on the ground, there's like what almost looks like a bullet wound just in the forehead with some blood coming out. Like, where did that even come from? She was pushed out of a window backwards and then fell backwards this entire way.
Something hit her in the head, though.
And I'm just looking at this blood spot. I'm like, what is with that?
But that is a good question.
A lot of people probably guess like, oh, it's the glass from the window, or
because something could have hit her in the head on the way down. It is a good question, and I didn't think about it until you just said that. I'm like,
because then she's walking around the following scenes with almost looking like she got shot right in the forehead.
Yeah, because she ends up putting a Band-Aid over her head.
Yeah, like it's what
happened.
Yeah, she
was like, "Oh, I was at Chris Brown's house again."
It's kind of weird. I didn't know cats, just by a whole bunch of cats licking you become like a super villain.
Yeah, that was a super villain.
It was pretty creepy when that first cat came out after she's laying on the ground because it looked like she was tonguing the cat.
Yeah,
dude, the cat. They put something in her mouth that the cat was trying to eat.
They had to have, man.
Yeah, because that cat was like in her mouth trying to eat something.
It's like she was French kissing a cat.
Yeah, crazy.
I think that's supposed to. So like they do that in the really shitty Halle Berry movie where like there's the same kind of origin, but then a cat like transfers some kind of power into her. I think they're trying to do something similar-ish, like where she's taking on that cat persona, and that cat was like giving it to her. But they don't play that.
So that cat wanted to give it to her, all right.
It gave it to her right in the mouth.
She looked at that movie. I'm just saying. But real quick though, what you were just saying, Ibrahim, about the Halle Berry one, which my wife was talking about earlier. She said she hated that movie.
I wasn't a fan of it either.
Which one was that? Was that the fourth one?
No, that was like a standalone.
Oh, that's right. She was standalone.
Yeah. It was like I even forgot what year it was. It was a while back.
Now but what I was saying though, because like as Selena Kyle, again, before she gets pushed out the window, that inner ladies, excuse me, I apologize for using this term. That inner bitch comes out of her, and it just really, like, her character just completely changes, which is understandable. But I'm wondering if anything, because again, you mentioned the cat with the newer movie, because now all of a sudden she knows how to fight.
Yes,
she can flip and all this other shit. Like,
she got the reflexes of a cat, except for cats don't do backflips all the way down the street.
They can though.
I don't know.
Okay, you know how people who had cats or have cats, when your cats are running around at like 3 a.m. when you're trying to sleep, that's what they're doing backflips.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Very agile. They're very agile.
They sound like horses running around. I'm like, oh, you're a fucking 6-pound cat. Get a horse.
It's true.
I do know Michelle Pfeiffer ended up taking like a bunch of kickboxing and whip training classes and lessons to play that role. She wasn't even Annette Bening was supposed to be Catwoman, not Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh yeah, because the notes.
Yeah, that's right. I prepared for this, you son of a bitch.
You know what I need to start doing? When you send me those notes, I should share them with these guys so we all sound like.
I thought you did. You don't even bother to read them.
I never do. That's how I'm like. Remember.
I spent some time today putting some notes together, and you didn't even fucking read them, did you?
So
Aaron's like a freaking white guy send me.
You know what? You know what we're gonna do next? Between the 4 of us, when Chris sends me the notes, I'm gonna send them to you guys, and I'm gonna make a group Facebook chat with us 4, and we can also post them in there as well because I I don't.
That'd be good.
That makes sense.
I'm a frickin' freestyle, but Chris likes.
Yeah.
He's professional.
See, when I'm watching a movie and like I'll see something like notes on it. Like I seen the thing about the makeup Danny DeVito. It's just after I read it, if hours go by, I forget and blank out things. So it just disappears. I'm like, crap. I forget names. I forget like directors' names and everything. I'm like,
that's why I have to write stuff down either while I'm watching it and then I go back afterwards and kind of look stuff up and things like that. But Annette Bening was actually supposed to be Catwoman. She was cast and then she got pregnant like shortly before they started filming.
wow.
And then they settled on Michelle Pfeiffer, who also ended up was being paid like $2 million more than Annette Bening would have got.
Damn. Well, that was an upgrade. That was sort of the opposite of what happened in the first one when what's her name, Sean Young, had to drop out because of the horse accident. So I guess you win some, you lose some. This was in the movie's favor.
Sean Young, who was she supposed to be? Selena Kyle? Or no, sorry.
No, in the first movie, she was supposed to be Vicky Vale.
Yeah, the reporter, the photographer.
The Vicky Vale they chose wasn't bad though.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I think Sean Young. I don't know. I like her, that version of Sean Young at that time. I think would have been better.
Respect that.
If I'm not mistaken, I think she wanted the role of Catwoman. I thought I saw something where she actually showed up dressed in costume to try to audition.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, there was this crazy ass story. Like I said, she is legitimately kind of crazy. Like she is actually kind of out there as a person. She would have been a very interesting Catwoman, like in an alternate universe. Because I think Michelle Pfeiffer is like a perfect choice, but she is legitimately actually kind of out there, bonkers. Like she is a nutty person. So she could just be like you said, she would just show up in costume and be like, yeah, I'm fucking Catwoman because I'm crazy. Cast me in the movie and I will destroy it because I am a bonkers, nutty, crazy, extreme sexual tension kind of person. I just live that way. She recognized that this was like a perfect role for her.
I was going to say, to her credit, that is kind of the Catwoman persona.
Catwoman, Christopher Elswick commented, Catwoman was a bad bitch.
Yeah, I like the Catwoman in this.
Michelle Pfeiffer did a great job. Badass, sexy, and
I watched her when
she nailed it.
I don't know if you guys, maybe Chris, because I don't know, he's white, he might have seen it. Grease Part 2, Michelle Pfeiffer was in it.
I don't know if I don't think I've actually seen the whole movie.
Oh, okay. Well, she was the main character in
Was
that.
she in it? Okay.
Yeah.
See, the movie I associate her with the most is what's the one where she was the teacher and like the
you're talking about Gangster's Paradise song?
Yeah. Gangster's Paradise, the Coolio shit.
Yeah.
I forget the name of that movie.
What the hell was
I had it in my mind. I literally had it in my mind before I started talking, and then it went blank.
Come on, Aaron. What's the name of the movie, Aaron?
What movie?
Gangsters. It's not Gangster's Paradise. That's the Coolio.
Where she was the teacher with the bad kids.
Oh, I love that movie.
Is it not Dead Post? Sorry.
No, that's Robin Williams.
Yeah, damn it.
Coolio. Dangerous Minds.
Dangerous Minds. There you go. All right.
You win the trivia for the night.
There you go.
He's black. He had to get that right.
Yeah, he had to.
Time out.
He'll lose points on the street.
We have to fucking do a movie review on Dangerous Minds.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I don't care.
I'm sorry I was so
aggressive. It was a good movie. It was a good movie.
That was very aggressive.
Yeah. Hey man, this is your show. We're just like
he'll start getting angry.
We're just here for your fun times.
Kelvin said it was Dangerous Minds. I should have looked over at my phone.
To the chat, yeah.
I'm going to start taking credit. I'm going to peek and go, yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Kelvin, it wasn't La Bamba. I'm sorry. I had
Oh, yeah. All right, we got people on. That's good.
Nice. We got some people watching.
Oh,
nice.
speaking of, Kelvin asked, what does everybody think about Marlon Wayans playing
Robin?
Robin, yeah. We talked about
that last week.
I was going to bring that up.
Go ahead. Bring up.
Bring it up. That's a perfect time to bring it up.
Yeah. Robin, they were going to, at one point, planning to bring Robin into this movie. And they had settled on a backstory of him being, a black teenage mechanic that eventually befriends Robin or Batman.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And, becoming Robin. He was going to have like an R on his jumpsuit or something like that. And they had actually cast Marlon Wayans signed him to a sequel, and he was going through like costume fittings and everything. They decided to delay it till at least a third movie because I think they decided too many characters in this one, and then of course it never happened.
There was a lot of characters.
Yeah, it never happened with him. Like
it never happened with him.
They didn't but he got paid for it, so that's pretty sweet for him.
It's like being the backup quarterback to a quarterback that's never gonna not play a game.
Yeah, you're Tom Brady's backup. You're
collecting millions sitting on the
It's funny how they said there's going to be too many characters, but the one movie they had like 18 characters.
No, but I mean, this is like the early 90s. You can't. At the time, it's kind of you're bringing these iconic characters to life, and I can understand that in a sense because it hasn't been done before. You're like, this is the first time major motion picture, millions of dollars. You're bringing in the big names: Batman, Catwoman, Penguin. Like, I mean, this came out in 92, so I was 9 years old. I doubt I saw it I know I didn't see it in the theater. I saw it on video at some point.
I didn't see it in the theater. I've seen it on video at some point.
But I can't imagine teenage comic book geeks at the time geeking out over, holy shit, I can't believe we're getting a movie like this now.
Yeah. I did forget how it was a little more chaotic than I remembered. Like it was kind of fast. Like all the clowns. I remember that. I remember the first time I was like, wait, is Joker back?
Yeah, there's a lot of clowns.
There was
his gang, right?
Yeah, I had no idea there were clowns in it, but at the same time, I mean, can you really go wrong with murderous clowns?
No, you can't. It's just you think the Joker's back or something. They're like,
although there's supposed to be some rogue. It's like a rogue group of circus people that just decides to live in a sewer and then maraud Gotham.
And then the Penguin becomes their leader in the 33-year time gap they give you.
Yeah.
It's a weird like however that origin. I think they're just like, yeah, we need a villain, so let's just have it be some weirdo kind of freak clowns, and then Tim Burton's like, yeah, I like that because I'm gonna get my character actors that look weird and I'm gonna put them in the movie.
Well, you know what happened with Tim Burton? I mean, he didn't want to direct this to begin with. He didn't care for the superhero formula. Basically, it was kind of lame to him, and the way they convinced him to do it was basically give him complete, total creative control, and then he immediately fired the person that wrote the script and brought on someone else. And because I think the complaint with the first few drafts was they had no real main purpose for the Penguin.
Oh, okay.
Like it was after that they added in the part of him wanting to kill Gotham's firstborn children
and running for mayor, like getting
yeah, and that was more of a sign of trying to show you monsters. It's not just monsters aren't only the people wearing costumes. Your politicians basically are dickheads.
Oh,
yeah. That's what that subtext was for.
We discussed last week. For this. In previous drafts or before whatever happened with Billy D. Williams, they wanted Billy D. Williams to become Two-Face in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And he would have been the Max Schreck character.
Yep.
Pretty much. But then he left, so then they kind of did
I think even at one point they had tossed around him showing up towards the end of the movie, kind of like a setup for a third movie, just flipping a coin in that Catwoman Max Schreck scene where they kiss with the taser. Or something somewhere around there.
That was a good scene, by the way.
It was a good scene. Having Two-Face there, flipping a coin, landing on heads, decided not to do anything and walking away just as a setup. But again, that didn't happen. That ended up getting cut. Robin got cut. There was a lot of stuff that got cut from, the first drafts.
Now with the Robin thing, didn't they say he got cut because just because of the timing, that's like the length of the movie. You couldn't really fit it in there because they wanted to kind of give him some sort of an origin story too, a little origin.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
Yeah, this movie, yeah, like you're definitely right. There just wasn't enough room for another character because, another reason why Keaton left, and when in the future when we talk about the third and fourth films in this kind of 4-film block, he at this point was very unsatisfied because he felt like Batman was the side character and all the villain, and he felt like in every movie the villain got more character development than Batman did. And that the films were about the villain, like Selina Kyle and the Penguin. Like we get to know a whole bunch about them and their characters change and all this stuff. But with Batman, he just kind of shows up, beats people up. He's basically got this weird kind of thing for Selena Kyle. Like they got this thing for each other. That's kind of cool. But there's not a lot for Bruce Wayne Batman character wise. So there's just a lot of dissatisfied, I think, people.
No, and I think that was evident watching it for myself again the first time in like 20 years. And that's one of the thoughts I had. I'm like, there's not much Batman there, and there's definitely very little Bruce Wayne in this movie.
Not much
like
either.
I'm not mad at
it. Just kicks people.
Yeah, there's barely any, like, so the beginning of the movie, right? So we get the origin story of the Penguin. Then we get this thing. Basically, it's a Christmas movie, right? That's the other thing we should talk about. This is a Christmas movie.
I do want to mention. I do want to discuss that after. Yeah, hell yeah.
It's a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas in Gotham, and so all this stuff's going on. And then we see the Penguin do this sort of revenge against the people of Gotham. And then we get basically the beginning of the origin of Selena Kyle. This is like the first 30 minutes. We see Batman like twice.
Yep.
Batman stops the clown show from attacking people in Gotham, and then the rest is just Selena Kyle's origin. It's like, whose movie is this about? Is this about him or is it about them?
No, when it comes to Bruce Wayne, I think there were 2 or 3 scenes of him watching the news on TV.
Yeah. And him and Alfred just like chilling at the Batcave.
There's 1 or 2 scenes of him just meeting the actual Selena Kyle character as Bruce Wayne, and then a few more as Batman. But this is a Penguin Catwoman movie.
Yeah, it's a Penguin Catwoman movie. How insane is that?
It's their origin story. That's what it should call. It shouldn't even called Batman Returns.
Hold up. But the thing is, like, I like that they showed more of Catwoman and the Penguin than Batman, because we got we got a lot of Bruce Wayne and Batman in the first story. So we didn't need much more of Batman and Bruce Wayne in the second story. That's 1. And then 2, it's like Batman's such a powerful role that he didn't need Batman and Bruce Wayne, that they didn't need the whole, you know what I mean? They didn't really need those spots as much as Catwoman and Penguin did. And I feel like this movie right here really showed us who Catwoman and Penguin are, and like made them very, very popular.
See, I don't disagree with you. Obviously, if you're introducing new big names like that, you need to give them their proper due. I can understand
Batman's movie though.
I certainly understand Keaton's great. You're not developing, as I would think, as an actor, if you're playing the same character over and over again and you're in some kind of franchise, you want it to develop enough to the point where it's at least still interesting.
Yeah.
And I feel like this was interesting though. I really do.
But was it, for you as a viewer, but was it for Keaton?
Well, the answer is no, definitively.
No.
I don't know, because you put yourself in his shoes. I believe he got paid $11 million for this movie, and it's like that fucking $11 million for the little I had to do in this movie. And I don't mean little like he only had a small role. What I mean is, like, compared to the first movie, I got paid $11 million to do this shit. Yo, sign me the fuck up.
Yeah, but I feel like this, the idea was there. This ended up being more of collecting a paycheck for him.
Yeah. It wasn't like worth his while anymore.
No, and
I disagree. I disagree, because I feel like it was a bigger wow moment again, because like the scenes that he was in with this movie was so fucking important. Like, he wasn't in just a scene just to be in a scene. Like, a lot of his scenes were very powerful. I'll go with the Bruce Wayne Selena Kyle scene on the couch. Like, that whole scene, that whole back and forth, especially when they start making out and she's feeling up on, like a shirt. And earlier as Catwoman and Batman, when they fight, she stabs her in the ear, and he throws the shit on her arm. We do have a couple comments, which I want to read real quick, but she throws shit on her arm, and they're both just like, fuck, I gotta go. And it's funny that they both try to tell Alfred a story, but don't know what to really tell him. And I feel the reason why they don't really know what to tell him is because they kind of care for each other. So it's like, lie to him, lie to her, but don't hurt them, because I still want to I still want to talk to them. I want to see where this can go, but I have to go be Batman, or I have to go be Catwoman. I'm going to be Batman, but you don't know I'm going to be Catwoman. And real quick, I just want to say, Kelvin, really quick, actually. Chris has a question for us. Chris Ellswick. Shout out to Chris.
I was going to say, I'm on the show. How do I have a question? I don't remember asking.
Will we be covering the Gotham TV show at some point? Now, this right here is not going to be something I'm going to throw out to everybody. This is a group effort. This is like a group thing. Maybe we could like watch them episode by episode and do like one season at a time. If you guys are down, I'm down. That's all I'm going to say.
I think watched like a half.
The demand needs to be high.
Yeah,
put it that way.
High, because
that's a commitment. I mean,
it's a commitment, and the thing is, Batman's not even in it. I think they introduced him like in the later season.
He becomes Batman in the last episode.
There you go. The last. It's basically about Gordon. James Gordon, the cop.
I'll say this though, real quick. If we did do shows, like we could do one season at a time, and just kind of like whenever we get a chance to watch every episode or ever X amount of episodes, we'll discuss it with each other. And then do like do a season at a time, and then boom, and we could just put that out as one episode, that first whole season, and we can do it whenever we have a chance to do it.
So, man, I'm not against it by any means. We'd have to discuss some sort of plan.
We'll have that because that's just not one movie. That's
right.
Hour episodes, and you got 10 minutes per season.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'll spend 2 hours watching a movie. It's like, what is that, like 5 hours or something?
Yeah, no. So yeah, that's a commitment. Yeah, we'll have to plan that one out.
Well, hang on, real quick. Here's my thing. We could set it could be like a monthly thing, right? Say for example, we're like, you know what? We'll start watching this like as a group whenever we can, whenever you can, when everybody's free to watch their shows when they can at home or whatever. You do an episode as much as you can. It'll be like a monthly thing. Like say, again, I'll throw January out there. Like say at the end of January, we'll do season 1. The end of February or March, we'll do season 2. You know what I mean? So it's not like every weekend we're doing. So we can still have time to do movies and other fun shit, and plus our own shows. Well, James, you're on. You're.
Yeah, the Universal co-host.
I'm Universal.
He's the horror of the network. We just throw.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. I'm the horror of the network.
I'd say we'll take this offline and discuss some plans for this possibly.
We'll do some plans.
Like I say, if the demand is high.
Yeah.
Keyword being if demand is high. I agree.
If the demand is high, yeah. I heard it was a really good show. A lot of people got into it.
I watched the first season or two and then gave up on it.
Yeah.
I feel the same. Yeah. Like a lot of those shows, I've watched like the Constantine show. I watched part of that.
Oh, I watched a few seasons of that.
Yeah. Like, but I feel like I always get to a point where I'm like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
Doesn't keep me. To you. Someone else said, he said, going back to the series, he said he saw the series on TV, was pretty good. Saw the series on TV, and he ended up buying it because it was so good. Which I did watch. Like with me, I watched. And I watched some of the first season of it, and I did really. I actually loved it. I don't know what happened and why I stopped watching. I think I just honestly got busy. Like I really think I just got busy. Yeah. But it's one of those things I would definitely, because I know it's on Netflix, I would definitely go back and watch it. Other shows that I want to do, speaking of shows, just because somebody did mention it, The Flash, like the Arrowverse. That's
a lot of commitment right there.
I don't necessarily mean we don't even have to do like the full season. Just discuss the shows and maybe watch the seasons, kind of get them down. But maybe for some shows, just kind of discuss the shows as a whole, not necessarily discussing season by season by season by season.
Well, we'll have to.
Yeah, I think I know that DC is planning to have a whole bunch of shows. I think there's supposed to be a Gotham like cop show coming out. There's supposed to be on HBO Max a bunch of stuff. I feel like those would be a good avenue if we want to go with the show. New stuff. I
think HBO Max started airing Doom Patrol, which I've never seen, but people seem to be start getting into. Even
people love Doom Patrol.
Even though it's getting into like season 2 or 3 or something like that. But speaking of just the DC television shows, this reminded me, Keaton is coming back, of course, as Bruce Wayne, but in the DC movie universe with the Flash movie coming out in 2022.
Was the Flashpoint, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we need to circle back to this movie. We'll get back. We can talk offline about Gotham and future episodes and stuff like that.
Okay, real quick. I'm sorry, Chris, but I'm pouring another beer. This one is New Wave. It says blue lemonade, but they got the blue crossed out. Another cool art.
I like it.
Oh, yeah, that's very cool.
Nice.
For these 2 bottles. I'm not gonna go get my nickel for these 2 bottles because the art is too cool.
Where'd you get this, at the Broadway store?
No. The what is it called, Chris?
Uptown Beverage.
Uptown Beverage. Also, I have across the street from Price Chopper.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. All right.
Yeah, man, they got a good selection. You can order stuff online.
Oh, wow.
Like
Okay.
Oh yeah, they have an amazing selection. Like amazing selection. You can get it in singles like that. Well, for those are all singles. But you can get a lot of stuff in singles or in cases. So you don't have to buy like a case of whatever. If you want to try certain alcohols, for example, certain beers, they pretty much have damn near everything there as a single. So you can kind of.
They do. Maybe we can get them to sponsor the show. That'd be great. Shout out to Uptown Beverage.
Yeah.
Uptown Beverage, or one of those lovely beverages that are carried. It's popcorn and pints. Fucking, I don't know any popcorn things, but pints. There's all kinds of beer. Right now,
Aaron, maybe I'll sign on if you make a jingle
pay us
for
in
him. Instead of Uptown Girl, you go Uptown Beverage song.
yes, you can pay us in alcohol or cash. I mean, we'd rather have the cash, but if you're gonna sponsor us and you want us to show your little drinks off and shit, you gotta give it to us all for free, and we want some money.
Wow. All right.
All right. Now that we've poured ourselves out a little bit, let's get back to the movie. Watching this, one of the thoughts I had about Danny DeVito was I think him playing the Penguin and him playing Frank on It's Always Sunny are basically the same character.
Yes. It kind of. Yo, by the way, Penguin, I didn't realize this when I was younger, but there is some dirty jokes in this.
Yeah, there was.
That was so great. When Catwoman shows up, like, oh yeah, you're just the pussy I was looking for.
Yeah.
I was dying.
I'm like, did I just hear that right?
Yeah. Then he's like, I want to fill her void. And I was like, wow. I was like, damn.
They definitely felt the success of, I think, the first one, and then, tried to throw in at least a couple edgier stuff.
Yeah. But again, like you were saying, Chris, like they gave Tim Burton full reign, and I gave sort of the anecdotal example of when I was a kid, and my parents were like, that's too dark for you. We're not going to let you see it. This had an impact. All the weird jokes, all the really dark stuff, all the really creepy, weird stuff of like, we're going to have the villain steal babies. It hurt. It hurt the box office of this film in comparison to the first.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it was still successful. People will point to this as even the more better of the two movies Keaton was in. Even though I think the first one made more money, but it had the same criticisms that this is a good film, but they were the critics were like, it's a little dark.
Yeah, he turned the darkness up though. like this. But
again, you put in Tim Burton in like a already darkly set type thing. What did you expect?
Yeah. See, I'd rather have it this way than what they did with 3 and 4 though.
3 and 4 is a total disaster.
Yeah. By the way, they tossed around a lot of names for Catwoman, Nicole Kidman being one of them. I think she played a big role in the third one, right? I think it was like a doctor or something like that.
She's basically the Bond. Like it's like the Batman stuff is really an analog for James Bond. Like there's always a.
Would she play Poison Ivy?
No, she's just the girlfriend.
She's some kind of doctor.
She's just a doctor. Okay.
Yeah, she's just the love interest who gets.
The original Penguin, I think the studio wanted to go with, or the name that was being tossed around was Dustin Hoffman, and he turned it down.
I'm
glad
you're like, that's a big mistake. You're like, Batman, that's another thing I was saying. Keaton, like, I see Aaron's point. He could have just kept going with all the movies just for the ride because they get so popular. The Batman is like a popular franchise. He could just be getting paid like more and more every movie. He could have still getting royalties for like if he was in 3 and 4 because I'm sure they're still getting checks. But
he knew the train was going off the station. It was derailing.
If he was signing those contracts, it was strictly for a paycheck and not any kind of artist fulfillment, as I would call it, probably.
He was unhappy with the way it was going.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what he did after Batman. What's his next main role? I totally forgot.
He kind of went into the wilderness for a little bit.
He went to the wilderness.
No, for real. Like there's not a lot that like comes to my mind as like a big, because he's never. I don't know if he's been nominated for Oscars or any kind of big awards. He's kind of just been a journeyman.
I hope it wasn't that cheesy horror movie Jack Frost. Was that him, Aaron?
That's an Aaron kind of movie, right?
Was that though? Then he played Jack Frost, right?
He was in no. I'm not sure who played because there was a horror movie one and there was like a kiddie version one. If anything, he might have been in the kiddie version one, but he wasn't in the horror one, which I
Hey,
did.
who's the horror
He
one?
was in the kitty one. Yeah, 1998. He was in the kitty one.
He's in-
Jack
Oh,
Frost.
okay.
But he
Okay,
wasn't in the
so
horror
I had
Played-
that in my head. I had Jack Frost in my head somewhere.
That's what he did. He played a snowman. That's what he did after
Yeah.
Batman. He played a
Well,
snowman.
Yeah. Oh,
that's what the horror one was too. Was the snowman?
Yeah, it was. It was a cheesy horror
Jack Frost.
movie. Really.
Yo, this
It was in there. Her
This-
fucking great acting
crazy.
skills.
Jack Frost from 1998 had a budget of 85 million. That's crazy.
Wow.
Did any of us see that movie? That's
I don't know.
holy shit. How much did he get paid for that movie? I bet he got paid a lot.
Jeez.
Riding that Batman hype train.
Yep. Oh, and by the way, when I watched the movie, I was like, "That's what I was talking about last week."
Oh, Chris.
The car split into the one single rocket thing.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
That
And
was cool.
A motorcycle. It wasn't a motorcycle. I was like, I knew there was a scene that does that.
Yeah, you're right. And that's totally like what they do in like Batman, The Dark Knight,
Yeah,
where he splits into a pod.
yeah.
the tank one. Yeah, I totally forgotten that it did that. I totally
Yeah.
forgot that it did that. That was super cool seeing it like.
We lost Chris. Where you go?
I'm getting him back right now.
You booted him? Come on, bro.
No, I don't know what the hell happened. I think he was playing with his nipples again.
Got banned by.
It happens, man. You just get computer glitches. You get kicked out. It can be anything.
That's technology, people. This is
It
technology.
is technology.
Joe's gonna keep rolling though, and we got another question in. I'm
Yeah.
just wait for Chris to answer this question. It's from Kelvin, and it's a great question. It's a funny fucking question. Kelvin, you're my guy. You're my amigo. Fuck you though for this one. You guys know. All I'm gonna say is it has to do with Nicolas fucking Cage.
Oh shit. Okay, what's he comment on? Is it Facebook?
Yeah.
I don't see that one.
See, I have it. I originally posted it to the Z Network, and I also shared it on my page.
Oh, okay. I see because I see them mention a different one.
I'm not sure though. The restream thing is acting kind of weird for me tonight too. So, yeah.
Hey, at least it's not me this time. I fixed my problem. I used to cut out all the time doing the podcast.
No,
Like,
oh yeah. That was funny. You know what was funny though is the movie you cut out for was
Oh, it was the online one where they're doing the virtual.
they were
The
using
Zoom.
film in the movie
The
too.
Zoom. I got kicked out. I didn't say that. I was like, oh, I went missing like that one chick.
What's the movie called? I forgot what the movie was called, Joe.
It was
Oh shit.
it was wasn't it on Netflix?
No, Shutter.
Oh, it was a Shutter movie, you're right. It was like a whole bunch of Zoom. They did a movie.
Oh, the Zoom
showing-
horror movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard
yeah.
about that.
Wasn't
Zoom-
bad. It wasn't
the-
bad.
The Zoom seance movie. Yeah.
Anybody that's watching this, what is that movie on Shutter where they're having like a Zoom conversation, and it's Caucasians, of course, doing a seance? What's that movie called? Because it was okay. It wasn't bad. It was a fun movie at that.
No, it was decent. I liked it.
You know what bothered me? I mean, I'm just gonna discuss this until we get Chris back. If we get Chris back, I hope we get Chris back. Chris, come back to us. Come back to
Aaron, he corrected you. It's not Nick Cage. It's Jack Nicholson.
Wow. He said Nick Cage earlier.
No, I see it. That's why I got confused. No, he said Jack Nicholson.
No. It's Unfriended. Is
Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, no, that's something different. That wasn't it.
but it's not Unfriended though. It's
No,
like
it's not.
I feel like it's a simpler name than that.
Yeah, Zoom. No, I don't know. No, I forgot what it was too. It is a simple name though.
Oh fuck! What is the name of this movie? That's gonna be.
It's called Host. Host.
Thank
There
you.
you go. There you go.
Thank
That's
you.
it. The one that actually uses phone to Google. Us lazy asses sitting here just thinking, staring at the phone, not using it.
Listen,
What's this movie called?
we have
What was it called? I don't know.
we know what we're doing. Like Chris and Ibrahim are like the responsible ones. They take notes. They look shit up.
Yo, I got Alexa right next to me. I could have just asked that stupid
Yeah.
bitch.
Hey Alexa.
I'm the most
the Zoom horror
irresponsible.
movie.
James, you're like right after.
Oh, there goes Chris. He put host in there too. Oh, Chris. Still no Chris. What's
The
going
other
on?
Chris. All right, I'm gonna ask the question. how would you guys have felt if there was a twist where somehow Nicholson returned as a Joker in Batman Returns? That would have been interesting.
You know, I think when that Batman came out, when they did the laughing box and everything at the end with the, you know, the chattering, the voice box.
Yeah.
When I heard the second Batman was coming, I really thought he survived somehow and he was going to come back in it until I found out it was a whole different villains. I wouldn't mind. I like the Joker character. Like, I never expected him to die in the first one because through all the comics and everything, Joker is his main rival, is alive through the whole thing, escapes and just torments Gotham. So I honestly wouldn't mind.
I feel like he's Batman's number one, like.
Oh, he's definitely his
villain.
number one. It is number one. Yeah, it's his number one rival.
And and I know some people might say, "Oh, Aaron, you're so fucking corny for saying this," or "It's typical," but I think he's my favorite villain of but not just in Batman, across the board.
Oh, best villain.
I think he's maybe not necessarily the best, but he's my favorite because he's so fucking crazy and psychotic. Like, he really doesn't give a shit. He just wants to really, really fuck with Batman.
Yeah.
And he knows Batman won't go to that extra point to where he would kill him. Because
he did it in the first movie.
You know what I mean? So it's just like,
you like him more than Thanos?
Yeah, I do.
I just think because the comedic side, it's just like Thanos is just a tyrant.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't end all, basically.
And
Thanos is just one of those guys, like, just can't beat. He was like overpowered.
Yeah, he was just.
I feel like, me personally, now call me crazy, I feel like Joker is somebody that Batman kind of loves and hates. I feel like Joker is somebody that Batman wishes he could save and destroy all at the same time. And saving him may be destroying him. Destroying him may be saving him. I know that sounds crazy.
No, there's a in the comics, there's like all the different versions. There's a lot of theories about the Batman and Joker relationships.
What do you guys think about, really quick, going back to Batman 1, the first one, real quick, just because we're waiting for Chris. We're going to get back to, we're still going to talk about this one, but because I don't remember what we said about it last week. What do you guys think about Joker being the trigger man, killing his parents?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we did talk about this. That's when I mentioned the comics. It wasn't even him. It was some like Joe something.
Joe Chill.
Yeah. But it would make more sense because it would feed off the rival. Like, you're the one who killed my parents.
But
then it would have made him snap and kill them. I think he would have ended it right there if it was really him. Because I think that's what he was looking for. It's basically in his mind. He was looking for the ones that killed his parents.
See, I have a couple things with that. I mean, I know my thing with this is, okay, so Joker does this. Joker has to be in that. I mean, you don't know how old he is when he kills his parents, but I'm guessing at least in his 20s. Batman's a little kid. How old is Batman when his
I think it was 10 to 12. I want to say 10 for some reason.
Okay, so
I think he was like 10 years old.
I don't know. Then again, we don't know how far in the future they go. If they go 10 years, 20 and 30 is not really that old.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, wouldn't Joker be kind of, say if Batman's about 30, Joker, I mean, 40 is not old, but it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. So that was something that kind of came into play in they did the Joker solo movie with, what's his name? Playing,
Phoenix.
yeah, Joaquin Phoenix playing him.
Weird Colin, by the way.
Yeah. Well, his family, they were some weird people, like the parents. They're part of a cult.
Really?
For real.
I didn't know that. Right.
Yeah, they were part of a Christian cult. So yeah, I mean, because in that movie, the Joker character is way older. It's way older. And I feel like in the comics, basically what they've done now with Joker is like he's not really, he's a person, but they don't treat him as a person. They treat him as almost like an entity that's just, Batman showed up and then Joker showed up and then he can't die and he just constantly torments people. It's like the only way for him to ever really go away is if Batman went away.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's fine and it works because, like, I don't really think of Joker as like a human where it's like, oh yeah, well he aged and now he's 60. It's like, no, he's just a dude who goes around and he's plotting. He's always plotting how he can do some crazy thing that's going to make Batman go insane and see the world the way that he sees the world. That's like his purpose in life.
Here's a mind blown. Batman is also the Joker. Dun, dun.
That would be great.
I heard some really crazy. So like back in the day, like back in the like when IMDb had forums, there'd be all these weird people posting all these theories. Like one of the coolest, craziest theories I heard was like it was something similar to that, but it had to do basically. They said like in the Batman Nolan movies that Rachel was also going to be like Two-Face or something like that because she got all the chemicals sprayed on her. And so then she would have gone crazy and became Two-Face or something, or become a villain, some kind of a villain. So yeah, you could say that. Yeah, Batman goes crazy because he got the what do they call that? The Scarecrow.
Oh, his
fears.
gas. Yeah,
the fear gas, and then he just made him go nuts.
By the way, that's an underrated character. I think Scarecrow was a really good villain, and even in the cartoons, I always liked him.
I think the cartoons are just so. I think he's so much better, honestly, than what they've done in any live action. Just the way he looked, because he looked like a weird, skinny Scarecrow kind of dude. Like in the live action, they kind of just made him look just like a dude with a weird kind of mask.
Yeah, he does. Like characters, he just puts it on just to scare the people really quick. But in the cartoons, he did way more than that.
Yeah, in the cartoons, he did way more, and he's. I remember they put him in some like legitimately. I remember there was one story arc in the cartoon where his plan was there was like a basically like the Gotham football team or like
I remember that. Yep.
You remember that? That was a great episode where he was going to pour gas on them and have them all go insane.
Yep.
And they had to stop him, and that was one of the ones I really remember the story arcs about him.
Basically, he was doing a terrorist attack on a major football game.
Yeah.
The stadium was huge.
Yeah.
It was basically like the Super Bowl in Gotham.
Yeah, it was like the Gotham Super Bowl. And it was like the Super Bowl in Gotham, and like the Gotham football team was playing the Super Bowl, and he was going to gas everybody.
I remember that. I liked that episode. Yeah, I liked it. He was a good character.
But I just remember.
Yo.
Welcome back, Chris.
I mean, I'm using my phone because I don't know what's going on with my internet.
Yeah, dude, you were gone. Gonzo.
Did you try to have to be IT? Did you unplug your router and plug it back in?
That's what I'm waiting on. It takes way too long, man.
It does take a while. I know. I've been there. But that's the first thing they do. If you call them, they're like, can you unplug your router and plug it back in? I'm like, how about I just choke you with the cord?
So, Chris, I read the question wrong because I'm high. But
that sounds right.
Was how would you feel? Which we answered it. We all pretty much were cool with it, I believe. Ibrahim, I don't know if you answered this or not. How would you feel if
the Joker came back? Right?
Joker was in Batman Returns. Jack Nicholson's Joker was in Batman Returns.
It would be kind of interesting because they would have to like. I'd be like, okay, you gotta explain to me how this dude fell off a fucking building and lived.
Why are you going to question that? There's a girl that fell out the window. And
well, but then I saw a cat put its tongue in her mouth, so that totally explains it for me. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind. It would be cool to see him come back because he's, it's the Joker. Like I always want to see more Joker.
Yeah.
It sucked that Heath died. It would have been great to see Heath Ledger play the Joker in the third of the Nolan trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Have him be at Blackgate Prison. I saw this great, just as a quick aside, I saw this great thing. Someone they basically created like a storyboard of like how to explain like why the Joker just doesn't appear at all. And they had this scene where like you see all the prisoners get let out of Blackgate, and then the Joker is like right there and he's like excited, but then his thing doesn't open. It's still locked and he's just stuck there and he's sad.
He's just stuck there and sad.
Yeah, he's stuck. And so all these other people are going marauding, destroying Gotham, and he's like, oh, I'm stuck here.
I don't know. I don't think he needed to be in it, but a sign that he was alive would have been cool.
Okay, I see. Like somehow they gave a hint, like on the newspaper, like on a desk of the police station.
Yeah, I don't think I'm fine with him not being in it. That was fine. But if they had thrown in some kind of hint that he was still around, I think that would have been good. But again, I think they were going to set up for like a Two-Face type villain going into like a third movie, which never happened in maybe a planned trilogy. I mean, they went into Batman Forever, but I think that was certainly not what they would have set up.
These like whenever we talk about Batman Forever, like these films had a lot of stuff going on. And again, like I talked a little bit about it. So the guy was it John Peters or whatever, this nutty ass guy who's the producer. There was a lot of problems with these films, and it's kind of a miracle that they're worked out and they were good, because you got a director who doesn't really want to do these films. The producer is completely insane. He's nuts. And the actor like who plays the lead is not really in love with the material, but somehow it all came together and worked. And so, that's why there's all this kind of grab bag of stuff. Like they're going to have Robin, they're going to have Two-Face, they're going to have this, they're going to have that. But then a lot of things kind of fell through.
Oh, and also Kelvin right here just said that how you guys feel about Selena survived, Catwoman survived, but she didn't come back in Batman Forever. Why
Hey,
didn't she have it?
side note, Aaron, that scene you have behind you of Catwoman staring at the bat signal at the end, that's not actually Michelle Pfeiffer. That was her stunt double.
She's like, I got paid. I'm done. You can add that in after.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was added in like the post-editing stuff. When they were still just trying to decide whether or not they wanted to say if she was actually still alive or not.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you know that she has one life left. Like if you.
Yeah, she says it. Maybe she retired. She was like, I'm not risking my last life. I killed who I wanted to kill. I was done.
Yeah.
To answer Calvin's question, honestly, I feel the biggest reason why I'm disappointed, but I feel like the reason why is they just fucked up. Like they really just fucked up with the next two movies. I think if Tim Burton had control of those next two movies, they're going to be amazing, because Tim Burton doing Mr. Freeze, Tim Burton maybe possibly doing another Catwoman. Maybe Penguin, because did Penguin die?
He died. They dragged him in the water.
Penguin died, yeah. Actually, I got some all kinds of fun notes about the Penguins, but continue your thought.
But basically, she could have worked in Batman Forever. Or just the who was in Batman Forever? Was it Poison Ivy? And I don't even fucking
Bane and Freeze, right?
No, I don't.
Or was that the one after that? Wow, I messed him up, man.
Batman Forever is Two-Face and Riddler.
Two-Face and Riddler, that's right.
With Jim
Poison Ivy and Bane was the Batman and Robin, right?
Yeah, and Riddler was Jim Carrey, and Tommy Lee Jones was Two-Face.
That's right.
Good actors, bad movie, bad performance.
I think the movies they're trying to get like out of the comics, they're trying to fit every villain out of the comics in these movies. They're like, there's so many villains, let's try to add them all.
Yeah.
Just in case it bombs and we don't make a new one. So, so that's what I think about that. So they wouldn't put Catwoman back in it. So
I think it was a sign of the times. They didn't know how to plan kind of for like a trilogy, maybe even 4 movies at the time. Obviously, if you're taking on a character like Batman, you got a lot of material to pull from.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's even darker stuff out there.
Oh yeah.
In the comics, there is dark DC type stuff. Like they could have there's like vampire Batman.
Yeah.
Zombie Batman. That's one thing people are saying. They're hoping that Marvel brings the zombie.
Yeah, zombie. Yeah. Where Logan's the only person left.
Yeah, that would be. I would watch it. That'd be insane. I think that'd be a crazy ass zombie movie. But yeah, there's so many theories out there. It's like you can pull any story arc with Batman, and you could probably make it work. Like you said, if they made a Batman Beyond, I would watch it just to check it out because it'll be futuristic. So yeah, and they'll have Michael Keaton as Batman training them. I think it'll be pretty cool. And by the way, Joker comes back in that.
He does. Yeah.
They revive him.
Real quick, he said, "I feel that if Burton did Bane, it would have been an Edward Scissorhands style story times 10." Times 10. Yeah.
If they made another movie right now and they put Bane in it, like they made like the cheesy, bulky steroid one, you know who'd be a good person to be him?
I want Batista.
Okay, you have Batista. I'm thinking the big giant monster dude from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the mountain. Get the mountain. So what you should do is like it's a guy, right? It's like a guy that looks like me or you, and then like he puts on a mask, and then he becomes the mountain.
Yeah, that'd be insane because that dude is huge.
That dude is massive.
He's massive. Or Brock Lesnar.
Brock
Lesnar is a big dude, but not muscle like the mountain. The mountain is just bulk.
He's huge.
He holds world records for like deadlifts and stuff like that. So
yeah, he's just a crazy dude. That'd be crazy as him as Bane.
No, but if you want to talk about the Penguins, I found some hilarious stuff on them. Like for one thing, that scene where after the penguin dies and those emperor penguins are kind of like pallbearers dragging his body into the water. Those are actually vertically challenged people dressed as penguins. Those aren't real penguins.
Oh, I hope so because they didn't look like real penguins.
Hang on. What do you mean by vertically challenged? You mean they can't get a boner? Do they need Blue Chew? Not a sponsor. Blue Chew.
Blue Chew. Hey,
we can be. We have no shame in our game.
I was gonna, little people dressed as penguins.
Children. Got it.
No, not children.
No.
Adult little people.
Your cousin's favorite.
No, my brother.
Your brothers. I'm sorry, my correction.
Dwarfs.
Yes.
Yes.
Elves.
Yeah, you could tell they had a lot of like they had some real penguins and then a lot of either fake ones or like you said, people in a suit.
If you look really closely, the penguins didn't even touch him. They were just walking aside him and he'd all magically start sliding.
Penguins are fucking adorable, but I think they were getting like a lot of animal rights issues and letters and stuff once they started strapping rockets to them.
Yeah.
No, this day and age, like that, you'll see people losing their mind right now.
These animal rights motherfuckers are the reason why my dog doesn't have a job. Fuck you guys.
You mean you don't have a job that you take the money from your dog?
With Catwoman. If a cat is out with a girl right now in this day in movies, oh man.
These penguins, they had refrigerated trailers. They had their own swimming pool, half a ton of ice each day. They had fresh fish delivered daily from the docks, and I think they even kept the set the air conditioning on, so the set was cool to like 35 degrees or 40 degrees or something like that, even though it was 100 degrees out. These penguins were well taken care of.
See, that's the thing. People jump to assumptions and everything. They think everything's mistreated, but like people take care of the animals in movies. Like,
yeah, I mean,
they know they need cold. They're not gonna sit there like, yo, I don't care. Let's have the penguins, and the next day they're dead. And they just sweep them into a sewer or something.
I mean, a penguin's not cheap, dude.
No, they're not cheap. I'm
right?
I don't know how much the budget was that part. Getting all those penguins for the movie.
The penguin budget? It was probably a lot. They had a trailer, like you were saying. Chris was saying, he's got a trailer. They get ice. They get fresh fish.
That was most of their budget.
Yeah.
That's why the Catwoman was in it. They're like, no, we need the penguin. Sorry, we can't afford Catwoman in this one.
Yeah. But I mean, I understand because, the thing that comes to my mind always is like the Apocalypse Now scene where in real life they found this tribe and the tribe wanted, compensation. So they gave them a cow. And then, Coppola's wife was like, oh, by the way, they're going to kill the cow. Oh, really? Let's film it.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they literally filmed this tribe, an actual indigenous tribe in the Philippines or wherever, hacking up a cow, just like hack. Like, that can never happen today.
No.
Period. No. But it can't happen because these PETA organizations are so militant, they're so hardcore that if they whiff anything, like if you have a dog, like I remember there was a movie recently, it was probably like 3 or 4 years ago where they had this scene where a dog was the dog got underwater and was drowning, and so then in the movie they were drowning the dog and some footage got out and it was like you murdered kids.
Yeah.
They were like,
that was a discussion in a lot of movies. People care about the animals more than like a baby will get hit by a truck. They're like, oh, but they see like a dog die. They're like, I'm turning this shit off.
Dude, John Wick. The whole John Wick franchise is started because they kill his puppy and he kills like 5,000 people. Dude, we're like, yeah.
And I take offense to that because I had 2 beagles myself. So yeah, animal cruelty is a thing. And It's a very serious thing.
Yeah, it's a serious thing.
It is.
But it's like
Even in movies. Listen. Here's my thing. This is across the board. Leave the animals alone and leave the muscle cars alone. Everybody else is fair game.
the muscle cars. You know how many cars like in certain, I forgot what movie it is. They destroyed like cars that worth so much money today. It's like those old muscle cars.
Oh, like Death Proof?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
destroyed.
that's one that I almost cried on because I was just like, oh my god, these beautiful, gorgeous muscle cars. I don't care about the people. I don't even care. I mean, I'm not gonna even say all cars matter because they don't. If it's a fucking Pinto or some bullshit that I don't like, no offense if you're a fan of a Pinto, I'm not gonna mourn over that. But if you're gonna mess up a muscle car, I'm crying inside. I'm crying inside. My body's in pain.
Yeah, they killed a lot of those cars. And then he's supposedly Quentin Tarantino kept like called it a Frankenstein car. Like they took the parts of what was left of like 3 cars and then made one car and then he just kept it.
Oh, hey.
That's why his dad never loved him.
Yeah, don't mind me if you see me moving around. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going on with my internet.
Yeah.
Keep your nipples to yourself, Chris.
I hope you fix it, man. That sucks. I've been there though.
Yeah, it's a perfect time for it to, crap out on me.
Yep.
I mean,
Been
you
there.
got your phone. This is still fun. It's still entertaining. People, you get to see what happens when technology fails us. But Chris is so committed to the show that he wanted to come back on, and boom.
Use the phone, man.
Yeah. He's on the mobile iPhone Zoom. Like that's a commitment.
I'm drunk, but I'd be asleep if it wasn't for this.
I mean, all right, because it's a Batman movie. How does everybody feel about, speaking of muscle cars, this is Kelvin again, shout out to Kelvin. How does everybody feel about, for the new Batman movie, not only is Chris's favorite actor going to be in there, but how do you guys feel about the muscle car being the Batmobile?
Yeah, we talked about this last.
Robert Pattinson?
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about this last week too. They're trying, like, my opinion is they're trying to bring back like how the original old school '60s Batman car is. They're just using a normal car instead of some futuristic, like no car. This car don't exist type thing. He built it himself, but they're using like a regular muscle car type thing.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm in the middle. I'll say this: I love muscle cars, and I know how the first one was pretty much a muscle car. But like, I'll go back to the animated series. The animated series cars, like my favorite ones, followed by Batman 1 and 2, Batman and Batman Returns. I just feel they should have kept. I feel they should have went with that concept, but I'm not mad at the muscle car either.
I didn't see it yet. I think I've only seen the back of it. I think
it's a Mustang, I believe. Yeah. But what I was gonna say is, I think for me, real quick, going to like the Ninja Turtles movies, the last 2 that came out. Sorry. When I first seen the look of them, I didn't like it. When I watched the movie, I loved it because the movie fit the look. So the attitude of the movie and like what happens in that movie has to fit the look of the car, if that makes sense. If it does, like that can make that for me, that can not necessarily make or break the movie, but that can make or break the Batmobile. If it doesn't fit like the attitude of the movie. And I know people see it. I know for some people it might sound weird because it's a car versus like a person or like an attitude, but for me, I'm a car guy, which I know a lot of people are. A car is like an attitude. A car is just like that feel. You know what I mean? Like a car has that importance in a movie to where it can make or break a scene. It can make a scene very powerful. Again, let's go with the Batmobile. If that was a fucking Ford Escort, you're not going to have the same feeling, oh shit, versus how the Batmobile looks.
It's a taxi cab. Like Batman just got out of a taxi.
It's not gonna be the same. Even if it has all those cool weaponry, it's not gonna be the same. I'll even say if you go with like a fucking a tank, like with the Christian Bale Batman, it's kind of more of a tankish. I didn't like that. I did not like that because it was a fucking tank to me. It wasn't the Batmobile. It was just a fucking. It was cool, but it wasn't. It didn't amaze me. Like I feel they should have went with the Batmobile look from Batman Returns. / cartoon, maybe even more futuristic, more up to date, but not a fucking tank. And they're as great as the movie was, which I thought those were amazing movies, which we will get to those, and we'll tell you how we feel and the ratings and all that shit. But that right there took away from those movies for me because of the way the vehicle looked.
I think I'm just gonna put on a video of my router until this fucker works again.
All right, go ahead.
So I feel like it's really hard to get the Batmobile right because there's no Batmobile that's really like. Okay, so I'll tell you, there's one Batmobile that I really like, and it was the one from Batman Beyond. I think that's the best one. I really do.
Oh, you're talking about the flying one?
The car that flies because it looks cool, right?
And like one of the Star Wars ships
or something, yeah. And it's just like, yeah, it is like the cruiser or whatever.
Yeah.
and it's just like,
I'm not gonna lie, it's badass. And
when he's in it, there's like the red, glow is hitting him. Like that is the only one that I feel like it fits the time.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It does cool stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is this Batman's car.
Yep, like it's not just the top opening up. There's like a floor drop, and he flies.
So you can jump out and fly. Yeah,
that is cool. That's cool.
There's so much about that just like all works for me. But like all the other ones, I feel like there's something a little bit off. The Batman Begins ones are like it's a tank. Yep. It's not. It makes sense for what they're trying to do. It's realistic, but that doesn't give me that. Like, I don't want to see Batman ride a tank. I want to see him ride a fucking car that's like souped out and it's like it says Batman, And I think the ones from this, I think they work for their time.
Yeah.
But in the 60s one, that one was kind of fun and campy, but it was still cool.
Like the most futuristic car they had back then.
Yeah, exactly. But so to talk about the one from the new movie.
Does the top open up? Or did they get out like a regular car? Does the door pop up?
Oh, the new one?
Yeah, the newer car. I didn't see it yet. I don't know how.
Well, we've seen two scenes. We see him like basically turn on and rev the engine, and then there's literally like a rocket at the back of it, and the rocket flares up, and then he's like trying to run Penguin off the road, and we kind of see his car a little bit. So we haven't. I don't really know if we know too much.
I hope he don't get out like opens a regular door.
Yeah,
like Lamborghini suicide doors or something.
Yeah, I don't like that. So I don't know. For me, I'm kind of like, you're gonna share the Batman Beyond? Yeah, that thing was badass, dude. I love that car.
Yeah,
I love that car.
You want to call it? I guess it's a car.
This goes into what I was talking about as far as like the attitude of the show or the movie. This fits the attitude and the mode of the show and the movie perfect.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean? That like it works for it. Like this wouldn't work for the previous animated series, and it wouldn't work for any of the Batman movies unless they made a Batman Beyond movie. This was perfect for it because you still kind of smally. You have bits and pieces from the first Batman movie, let's say, and cartoon shape of the car. Kind of, sort of, like something from that car, and it's like just upgraded. It's a newer generation, but you still get that Batmobile feel, which I think is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Also, I love the way it moves. Like when you see it move in the show, it's like it's so
like it glides.
Yeah, it's just the movement is so different than all the other Batmobiles. I love it. I'm a little weary. I just feel like no one's ever really figured out the Batmobile. Like it's kind of a hard problem to solve. And I remember like actually hearing, like I think it was Nolan like went to some big ass European company and asked them to make a Batmobile, and it was just trash. So then he went with the tank. So it's hard. I think it's a hard thing to figure out because Aaron, like you said, it's got to fit the mood. It's got to fit the character. It's got to make sense. It's got to elevate what the character is like.
Mm-hmm. Did they get the airplane? Easy. They get the airplane in the boat right because it's like the shape of the bat.
But I love
the car. Don't look like a bat at all.
it's kind of got those like wings or whatever. That's it.
Basically, like those bat wings.
Which Kelvin, I'm gonna get to your next thing in your next comment / question in a second. But with what you just said, James, with the car and the boat and the plane. The car really wouldn't move. I mean, I guess you can go to the animated car because it was kind of shaped like a bat, kind of. But the car wouldn't move as well as aerodynamic if it's shaped like because it's going to be wider. You know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying. It's just like I'm saying they like pinpoint. Like even his signal, his airplane was basically The same
Yes.
thing, because he did the moon. He flew up and just sat there for a second, then
Yeah.
nosedived.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Speaking of which, since you've mentioned the signal, I love the signal sound. Going back to real quick to Batman Beyond, and Kelvin, I'm gonna answer your question right after this. I'm gonna ask it and then we can answer. But I love the did. I know you know what I'm talking about, Ibrahim. Like, I can't really do the sound with my voice, but like I like that sound. And he has it like he has it on his hip like a cell phone or a pager.
Yeah.
And he just goes and takes care of what he has to take care of. Now, real quick, Kelvin said very uncommon question, but how would you guys feel if the upcoming Batman film or a future film had the red sky like in the original cartoon, the original animated series, really giving it that dark Gotham feel?
Oh, you're talking about like chemical fog sky looking, like it kind of looked like how California looks now.
I would love it, because when I think of Gotham City, I think something that's real dark and gritty and just tough.
Yeah.
And like a shitty place to be, depending on what part of the town you're in. I mean, that could be like a real life city, but I'm just saying, like,
I think Daredevil had that type of sky, because Hell's Kitchen. If you look at the sky, I had like a red tint. I think I forget, but I know what you're talking about. It does make it seem like darker, like a tougher town.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see what they're saying about that. I wouldn't mind it. I don't care if it had a red tint. I don't know.
Yeah,
How do
exactly.
people feel? This has kind of been a thing people have talked about bringing back. Like, so you remember, like at the beginning in like the animated series, like there were those Zeppelin planes that were like with the searchlights.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about bringing those back in a movie?
Wouldn't be mad.
I don't know. I wouldn't.
I guess no real comment.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those like small things that I won't even pay attention to. Like if I'll see them, I'm like, oh, okay, that was from the.
Because like in this movie, Tim Burton is super heavy on the Gothic Art Deco architecture in this movie. I mean, there is so many Art Deco statues of a guy or whatever posing. It is everywhere, and like that for him, Art Deco equals how he wants to present this Gotham City. Like there's tons of that kind of architecture in this movie. I think it's really cool.
I think it's because the name of the town, Gotham. So he was like, I need to get stuff kind of Gothic style, dark looking gargoyle statues here and there. And
that's a really good fucking I don't even know the fucking phrase.
For the longest time, I thought Gotham, they actually got it for like it was a real city. Like when I was younger, I was like, I thought it was like New York City.
Yeah.
I was like, there's Gotham City? Oh.
When I think Gotham City, I think New York or Chicago because the buildings and shit and the craziness.
Yeah.
But it's funny you say that because I've never fucking thought of that, James. That's amazing. And we can get back to Batman Returns. But as far as like you're saying like the Gotham and like the Gothic look or whatever, Gothic, I never put two and two together with that. And it makes sense because Batman, he's the Cape Crusader he's the Dark Knight. That's at that's at night. You know what I mean? And that makes me love this Batman movie, the first one, the cartoon and all that shit, and Batman as a character even more because in Gotham City more, is fictional city or is it nonfiction? I don't know.
It's fiction.
Thank you. It's fiction. Which confuses me. Why can't fiction just be fake and nonfiction be fuck it? That doesn't matter.
Okay, so like in Marvel, they're from real cities. They're from New York and
that makes sense. Yeah, they're using real cities. Yes.
In DC, they're using fake cities. Yeah. It's Metropolis. It's supposed to be New York. Well, Metropolis. I don't know where Metropolis.
Metropolitan.
Like DC or some shit. And Gotham is supposed to be New York.
Makes sense.
But they just use a fake name for whatever reason. I don't know why.
I don't know why they didn't. Why didn't they just copy and just do real cities?
I don't know. I just think, people didn't, people thought that stuff was trash at the time. Like those early, 30s, the comic books, they thought it was trash. And people were like, I don't want to be associated with,
it might also be a thing, because that's one thing Marvel does too. Because if you watch a movie, because all the comics, you add them up, how many superheroes are in New York City? right? They
Like
do
all
the
of them.
Avenger.
All
All these aliens are coming. You're like, hey, where's the X-Men? They live there too. Where's why are they helping? Where's all these other people?
Yeah, I mean, that's, and they never really addressed that, right? Like in 2012, how old was Spider-Man? Where was he? What was he doing?
Exactly.
Well, if you go by the DC rules and DC cartoons, there's different universe. Well, with all of them, there's different universes. There's different Earths. So I guess you can use that, but at the same time, you guys are correct because on the different Earths, there's like say we'll use us for example. I'll use us for example. If there's Earth 2, there's like another version of us. You know what I mean? Like Earth 2, all 4 of us are fucking billionaires. Earth 1, we're what we are now. We're amazing people, but we're broke-ish.
But you can't really use that because in DC, they have the Justice League. They're all there in the same.
No, but if you go to Earth 2, like for the Flash cartoon, or sorry, for the Flash
series stuff,
series, on Earth 2, he's Barry, but he's not the Flash.
Yeah.
So it's like on Earth 2, I'm Sir Sturdy. I'm Aaron myself, but I'm not Sir Sturdy, aka Chocolate Batman, aka Chocolate whatever else I call myself.
Black Superman or
Black Dragon.
No,
the Black Hulk.
Chocolate Dragon, Coco
Iron Blacked.
Black Iron Man.
The Black Iron.
Yeah. Which listen people,
Captain Black Man.
Before you guys say it, and we're gonna get to Batman Returns right after this. Before you guys say there's already a black Iron Man, no, there's not, because that's War Machine. War Machine is not Black Iron Man. Black Iron Man is Sir Sturdy. Just saying.
Exactly.
Back to Batman Returns. I feel I've said this before. Michael Keaton was the best Batman that I've ever seen play Batman on screen. Michelle Pfeiffer. I haven't seen the new Catwoman. Michelle Pfeiffer was an amazing Catwoman. I think she was the best one. But I will say, second best because I only seen two Catwomen from the TV series. The young girl that played Catwoman as a girl from a Batman TV series. I think she did an amazing job as Catwoman / Selena. And I don't think anybody could play a better Penguin than Danny DeVito. And I'll say the same thing about Tony Stark / Iron Man / Robert Downey Jr. Those two roles I feel like were like when they were born, it was like you guys are playing these fucking roles when you're at this point in your lifetime and this point in your career, you're playing these fucking iconic roles.
That's what threw me off too. Let's go back to Gotham really quick. Isn't the Penguin in it and he's just a skinny normal dude?
He's not normal though. Because like he walks.
He has like a limp, and I don't know.
He don't have like no penguin features.
He has a big ass nose.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because like in the comics, he's more kind of like he's a rich guy who's got some connections.
Yeah, like mafia style type.
Yeah, mafia style connections. So like the weirdness is really kind of just a unique comic booky thing, but he's just a gangster, you know?
Yeah.
Just straight up gangster with money.
Yes.
Gangbanger.
They would have made the movie better too if they actually found his parents and he killed them. Threw them over the bridge or something. Like they're like 90, they're really old. He's like, bitch, just knocks his mother over.
Yeah, it's old Pee Wee Herman, like,
that's where he found out. He found out his dad was in jail for
for but that was a weird thing, right? Because he was at a porn theater. Like, what do you think people do?
Yeah, no, I know. It was so corny back in the day.
That was funny because that was a huge controversy at the time.
I think it's just because he was a celebrity. He was doing a kids' TV show and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's how the news works.
It's the kids' TV thing. But my question: who was the guy who saw him in there? Like, who's the dude? Who's the dude who's looking over at him jerking off?
He's like, I got a source. He went.
Some dude came in there and he was about to whack it, and then he looked to his left. Yeah. Oh my God, it's Pee Wee Herman.
Holy shit, that's Pee Wee Herman. Yeah.
And then he went to some tabloid and he sold it.
You know how he didn't know it was Pee Wee Herman until after he ejaculated here.
Bro, that is.
Hold on.
We're going in the wrong direction.
No, we're not. I have to add on to that. Next time you're doing when you're releasing,
That's all right. Nah, I'm all right. I'll pass on that one. But
I'm trying to help. I'm trying to give out like Maryland.
damn, I'm out of coffee.
Okay, I gotta pee, but we should get back to Batman Returns.
All right.
Back to what Ibrahim said earlier. I did not forget this. Christmas movie.
Yes.
Christmas movie. This is a
This
Christmas movie.
is my favorite, and I just realized this today. I told my wife this earlier. This
Better
is
than Home Alone for you?
it beats Home Alone was my favorite Christmas movie for years because I never thought of this as a Christmas movie. This is hands down my favorite Christmas movie of all time.
I didn't think
What about
Home Alone
Die
was a
Hard?
Christmas movie. Oh yeah, Die Hard. There you go. Die Hard is a Christmas
I like
movie.
this better. I got to go back.
Fuck you.
Wow. Wait a minute.
But this is like 100% a Christmas movie though. Die Hard, I believe Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Like people have big arguments about that, but this is more like the ending is so like on the nose about hey, this is a Christmas movie, dude, and this is about Christmas morals and shit.
It's
really
a
interesting.
winter movie. It's a winter movie.
This is the Christmas movie, Chris.
This is a Christmas movie.
They even said Merry Christmas in this movie. Do not. Hang on. Time out.
Home Alone's not a Christmas movie. That's where CPS should have been called.
Don't.
That was a child neglect movie.
We got another question, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
It says, would you guys like to see them bring back Phantasm from the animated film and the future Batman film?
Yes, 1000%. Yeah, I would love to see them explore the Phantasm, like what would the Phantasm look like in a movie, right? Like interpreting different characters, because the Phantasm is actually really a mantle. Like when they get to what Bruce Timm basically what they showed in the cartoon series is that the Phantasm is kind of just like the mantle of a person, and there was even a point where Barbara Gordon was going to be the Phantasm to do a murder.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the Barbara Gordon was going to become the Phantasm to kill the parents of the guy who became the Batman Beyond Batman. They're going to do that.
Terry McGinnis?
Yeah, Terry McGinnis. She was going to kill Terry McGinnis' parents as the Phantasm to make him become Batman. But then she didn't do it, and his parents died anyway, and so it was kind of fate. So yeah,
I did not know any of this. Damn, you got some knowledge, man.
Yeah, that's from like the Justice League, I think Unlimited or whatever. They explore that great episode where they explore basically all of they pretty much bridge Batman, like the whole the first arc, just like from Batman all the way through Justice League with Batman Beyond, and they kind of merge them together in an episode. Yeah, so I would love to see the Phantasm.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta watch more of the animated films, but the ones that I've seen from DC with the animated films are fucking amazing. And DC, really quick, here's my hang on, let me get intimate with you guys really quick.
Oh,
Let me get Pee Wee Herman with you real quick.
Oh, that's bad. That's a bad warning.
No. This isn't gonna be weird. DC, here's what I want to say to you guys. You know, this is smooth, sturdy right here, talking to you as like a friend. Stop doing live action because you guys keep fucking it up. You guys are doing horrible. Aquaman was fucking garbage. Horrible casting, horrible CGI. Do animated films and do them how you guys do them, because you guys do the animated films geared towards people from our era, from, you know what I mean, from the 80s era. 80s babies, 70, like we can even say 70s to 80s babies. So it's like 30-year-olds and up, that age group. We respect that. We appreciate that. We fucking love it because you guys go above and beyond with the animated series. Not only does it look amazing, but you guys make it with the like dark, and we love it. You guys do horrible with the movies nowadays. You guys do fucking terrible with the live action movies. As a matter of fact, DC, I'm gonna say this right now, and I could be wrong. The only movies that I like are the Batman ones, and that's the first two, and the fucking Christian Bale ones. That's it. I had fun with Daredevil, but
that's not DC, bro.
That's Marvel, man.
You're right. That's Marvel. Daredevil was okay. I'll put it to you like this: Daredevil was like.
I think what you meant is you like Batfleck, right? That's what you're trying to say.
No, I didn't watch that yet. All right, let me get to that. I bought this was like a couple years ago now. I bought the Justice League movie and I bought Batman vs Superman on Black Friday. A couple years ago now. Like I said, I still have not fucking watched them. I didn't even open
Awesome, man.
Dude, there's no reason to watch Batman versus Superman.
Well, I think there's no reason to watch Justice League, especially because we're getting a 4-hour thing. I think Batman versus Superman, I actually think that makes sense to watch if it's the Ultimate Edition before the big 4-hour thing. That's 7 fucking hours of your life between those two. But yeah, I think that is kind of worth watching. I think there's some stuff that's okay in the BVS Ultimate Edition.
Now, for the newer Batman, is Nolan doing it? Right? Is that still part of the Nolan?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, the newest one is I forget the guy who did the Planet of the Apes. The new one.
Oh, okay. So it's different. Now, what would you think if they started going the arc where Joker somehow comes back and that has Robin and they kill Robin and they start doing the
Red Hood?
Red Hood. Robin comes back all messed up.
Oh, Red Hood would be. I think they should explore. So the thing to me that they should explore the most is his son Damian Wayne. I think that.
So you're saying like introduce the kids, like all the other movies, are like kid versions of things, like Spider-Man, Morales.
Well, his kids are interesting. His kid is really interesting. But and so is I think they've done a good job with the Red Hood because I mean that dude is messed up.
Yeah,
he's not your average cutesy Dick Grayson. I'm Dick Grayson and I'm a good guy. No, he's a
he came back because he has the same mentality because he went into the stuff that Gould did.
Yeah, so he's mad because when you go to the Lazarus pit, you come out crazy.
Yep.
And he also got killed, and so he's like, I want to kill people, and he uses guns, and he's not a cute Robin. He's a jacked up dude in the head. So I think he's interesting.
And he.
Let me ask this:
Who Batman's ass too?
what were people's thoughts on Jared Leto's Joker?
Bad.
Oh yeah, I'm not a fan. You mean all the tattooed up guy? He was decent, but he's not one of my favorites. Like
I think they
okay-ish.
The tattoos were just so bad. Like he should have just had a tramp stamp that said "Fuck me, Batman."
Yeah,
it was just weird. It's like
I see how they were trying to get him like really insane kind of.
But like he's gonna come back in that massive Justice League 4-hour thing, and he's gonna look different. They made him look different, so I'm really actually interested to see that. I think Jared Leto's a great actor. I think he's actually an interesting choice. I think Jared Leto, the person, is a little psycho. Like he did some psycho stuff. Like he was pissing in people's food, and he was leaving people rats and shit. Like the actual actor was like totally crazy. He's like, yeah, I'm getting into character by pissing in your fucking your food. Like what, dude? Like,
yeah, I don't know. Well, that sounds like some Shia LaBeouf shit.
But I'm definitely interested to see like the non-weird take that Zack Snyder's going to have for him in the Zack Snyder 10-hour, whatever you want to call it, the cut.
Yeah, they're coming like all different types of forms of Jokers. They're trying to find like a crazy street-looking like gangster Joker, and you got the mad, insane like the Joker movie guys, like the older dude with the suit.
Yeah, he's hella skinny.
It's so weird. It's like pick one. Let it get a fan base going. Stop switching them up and competing.
DC wants all the Jokers. DC wants all the Jokers because that Joker movie made tons of money. They're like, dude, people want Joker. We'll give it to you. We'll give you as many Jokers as you want.
Isn't Jared Leto supposed to be coming making like a cameo or like be part of like the new Harley movies and stuff or something?
Well, he wasn't in Harley Quinn, unfortunately. He's not even like shown at all. Well, they do some stuff, but it's not Jared Leto. It's like the back of some random dude. Like, oh yeah,
I heard they were trying to point him in there somehow.
He'll be in the new Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, which I saw. Was there something about him in Suicide Squad?
That's what I was thinking. That's Suicide Squad thing because Harley Quinn is in that, and I think he's supposed to make a show up or something in it.
He had a brief minutes worth of screen time in like the original Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
You mean like the new one? Like will Joker be in the James Gunn Suicide Squad?
Yeah, like part 2, like come and get Harley Quinn and like because she end up his main bitch, partner.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that. I think
Oh.
he's not actually going to be in it, which is
okay.
surprising. But Sylvester Stallone's going to be in that movie apparently.
I just seen that recently. I just seen that recently. Who is he? Did they say who he's playing? I forgot.
No, we don't know. Like he's been pretty tight-lipped for a long time, and then we finally came out with like who all the people were. But we don't know who he is. It seems like it's a very late addition. But you know, he's going to kill off so many people in that movie. It's going to be awesome.
I know. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Except for Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
she's like the main character. They're freaking riding.
Oh yeah, they're riding her pretty hard. Yeah. It's a fun time.
Rich Elzuk said the Joker was an awesome film. That being said, it wasn't a Joker film. I still
gotta watch the Joker, by the way. We just talked about that last week. I forgot.
I gotta watch it again too. I have to watch it. I've never
watched the original one. I mean, the new one, the Joker, the movie.
Yeah, with Joaquin. But
I didn't see that yet.
Joaquin.
He said the Joker was an awesome film. That being said, it wasn't a Joker film. Just didn't have the same feel with the character. Now, Chris, what do you mean by that? Can you elaborate a little bit more? And I'm only asking that because if we go from the Jack Nicholson Joker, the Heath Ledger Joker, that's two different Jokers. And then what was the other gentleman that played Joker from Suicide Squad?
Jared Leto.
I did not see that, but I'm sure he was a different character.
He was all tattooed up, like pale, like makeup. I was like whacked out.
Just to ask, because like there's three different Joker, and then I mean you can go with the greatest Joker of all time, which was Mark Hamill.
The anime series again.
Yeah.
The anime, but
I say voice wise, like he really didn't do nothing. It was just a cartoon. He was just
but you have to give credit to voice actors because not everybody.
You do, yeah.
No, I do. I give credit, but I'm thinking live action, like who I want to see in the live action.
It is hard to compare a cartoon with a human, right?
Yeah. I think Heath Ledger did a really good job. I liked Heath Ledger. He went. It messed him up mentally.
Absolutely.
Dark in that movie. I liked it. I loved it. I was like, this dude is playing this guy insane. Like you get like put it with the cartoon, like craziness.
That's the second.
I got a pile of money. I don't care about money. Just set it on fire.
That's my second favorite. And I know I'm jumping ahead, but that's my second favorite Batman film is the one with Heath Ledger. And I think he did such an amazing fucking job. And they did that movie so well. But that was like how we were discussing earlier with Batman Returns and Batman from '89, how the first one was more about Batman and the Joker, but more about Batman. The second one was more about Penguin and Catwoman.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger's Joker, I don't know the screen time between Heath Ledger and Christian Bale. That was Heath Ledger's movie. He stole the show as the Joker. He did such an amazing job just with a lot of stuff. And then you go back and you read stuff, and some things were improv, like when he's clapping, sitting in the prison cell. That wasn't in the script. That was just him doing that. And I love when actors and actresses do things like that to where they're just like, okay, you know what? I can take this scene to the next level. And they do it and it works, and you're just like, holy shit. Like,
then it breaks you mentally, then you lose your mind.
And then no. I'm not gonna say that part. I'm just saying like us watching it as fans, like we're watching this, like those certain scenes stick out to us, and you're just like, holy shit, yeah, that fight scene was fucking awesome. But just him just sitting in the jail cell like that after that speech, just clapping. Holy fucking
one of the things I think of when you think of Heath Ledger as the Joker is he would basically skateboard to everywhere on set. So whenever someone mentions him as the Joker, I think of him in his Joker costume just skateboarding around.
Yeah, or him in the nurse's outfit on the skateboard. It's like, I'm coming in the scene. Here I come. Yeah.
Another funny thing was like when they blew up that building, that scene was also sort of improv. The explosion didn't work, and he's just like, what? And he's like hitting the thing.
Yep.
And then it actually exploded for real, and he jumped in the car. So that was all like real. He was like, why didn't this work? And then it just blew up for real.
Wow.
Yeah, because if you see him, like when he jumps in that car, he's like, oh shit, it's happening. And he gets in hella quick.
Like it was like real life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's like, I'm not getting harmed by some stray shrapnel. I'm out.
Yeah, it's cool. But nah, he was good. I liked him.
Okay, Batman Returns.
Yeah, back to Batman Returns.
Let's get back to
I
it.
like that the Batman is just you swing out. There's so many movies you just
There
can't
are, right?
help them.
There's so many.
When another thing I thought was funny when it comes to at least continuity, towards the end where Catwoman pulls Christopher Walken like out of the water before, before the taser scene. Like, she's wearing her Catwoman costume. It's all torn up for literally no reason. They did not show her in that costume before that.
Yeah.
It's like she went and put it on, and it must have already been torn up.
What? Yeah, no. What's the scene before that? Was it when she fell into the cat litter and it didn't get torn up in that?
No, I think the scene before that was they were at the party. She was dancing with Bruce, and they realized who each other was.
Yeah, that's a great scene. I like that.
Yeah.
That was a good
But, like-
scene, but the next time you see her, she's in the Catwoman cat suit, and it's torn up and ripped to pieces with her hair sticking out like she had been in a huge fight with it. But I'm like, what?
Yeah, no,
They ran out of budget. Like you're saying, they got 10 grand per like. Do you have any more money? Nope. This is what you got. Sorry.
They're like, here, put that one on you ripped last week.
Right. which was like the last thing she wore at the movie, basically.
Yeah.
Like they used the same one. They're like, well, we're out, so we got to use the same costume.
But then they decided to find one for the edit where they post wheels or stunt double with the full costume.
Yeah, they got that one. They're like, well, we got to do this shot, so get us a new one. Okay, fine. At that point, her scenes were done. So
yeah.
I really like that scene where like the two of them. So like they have this fight, right? They fight on the rooftop.
Oh.
And then she like licks him. Like that was a really interesting moment of some sexual tension. And then it gets paid off. And then they like say these lines to each other about the mistletoe and the kiss can be deadly. And then they say the inverse and they kind of realize who they are.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, does this mean we have to fight?" I like that. That was like the first reaction.
Oh, let's bring it back from what I said last week about Bruce. Batman likes to show everybody his thing. If she didn't kill the Shrek dude, he would have known he was Batman.
He would have known he was Batman.
Like, hi, I'm Batman.
He's ripped.
Comes out of the water. Oh, hi, Bruce. I'm dying here. But he didn't.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm Batman. And
I feel like for me, I feel like if I was gonna do a Batman movie, like basically who Batman is would be an open secret amongst like the villain. Like people know, but no one's interested in Bruce Wayne, right? Like Bruce Wayne is the mask. Bruce Wayne is the fake guy.
Yeah.
Batman is the real person.
Yeah.
You know? And so who's gonna care if you know who it is? Because he's just a front. He's just a rich guy. You want to kill the Batman, who's a symbol, who's this thing, this person. You know?
True.
So I would feel like all the villains would know, and then all the simpletons would be like, who could it be? Maybe it's that guy. It's like, dude, it's obviously Bruce Wayne, but
The live action one, the really one who really knows but didn't believe him was Scarecrow.
yeah,
In the Nolan movie. He knows.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, they just thought he lost his mind because he got sprayed with his own
Yeah.
chemical.
And then what I love about that too is like then Scarecrow becomes a drug dealer. Like he's just straight up like selling. He's like, I can sell you some meth. Yeah,
Yeah, I got you.
I got a really good form of meth. My business is to repeat customers.
But it just reminds me, it's funny because he just shows everybody at the end, like, hey, I'm Batman. Like another girl again. Like, oh, she figured out, but hey, Selena. But then at least I forgot about that part. He did mention the reporter to her.
Yeah, he did mention Vicky Vale, which I was surprised and didn't remember. And at least to their credit, there was an actual reveal of him being Batman in this movie, unlike the first one, I thought.
Yeah.
I feel like what was I gonna say? Wasn't there kind of a reveal? Didn't he? Vicky Vale knew he was Batman, though, didn't she?
Yeah, there was no reveal. Alfred just walked into the Batcave with her. Well, Bruce Wayne did. What?
It was a review. It was just they just made it happen. Like there was like no big like, oh my god, you're Batman. It's just like
there was no reveal. There was no scene of shock on her part or
they
anything
do
like
that with
that.
this one. It just bothers me. It's like at the end, like the girl is like, I love you. Hey, I'm Batman, right in front of the criminals and shit. I'm like, come on, man. Damn it. Wait till you're like alone or something. Like, hey, can I talk to you over here in the alley?
Yeah.
Unless if you want to go dark, Batman was like, okay, one, Penguin's dead. He's there. Hey, I'm Batman. Then he's like, hold on for a second. He just kills the dude. He's like, all right, we're good. I got him. Are you going to kill him or not? I'll get him. He can't know I'm Batman. But I don't know. That part just always bothers me because Batman is like the one hero. Like he kept his identity, and it's like Superman, of course, because he can see through clothes. He knew Bruce Wayne was Batman. You want to go with the cartoons and all that shit, or even in the live action movie Batman vs Superman, they know who each other is. Batman's a detective. He can find out anybody. It gives him time, but he'll find out your identity, your weaknesses, and all that shit. Even though there's a side note for Batman, people do say he is a type of mutant, superhuman, because of his brain, how he thinks. They say that's his power. He don't have like super strength and shit. Even though there's some movies he'll kick a bad guy across a room, go through a wall and shit, like But
Yeah.
But they say that they say he's an X-Men. Basically, that's his power. Like he thinks really, he's really smart that way. But anyways, that's people's theories about that. But
yeah, I think that's definitely something they haven't really handled very well in these movies. Is like how to deal with like no one. I don't know. I think they handled it well when Selena and Bruce kind of reveal it to each other without knowing, because they're so, and I really liked how they handle the two of their relationship, because they're so crazy. They're both insane. They're both totally crazy. And so they're so crazy that they're perfect for each other. And like that scene where they're both like, they have to go to their alter egos.
Yeah.
They don't know what to say to like, as their excuse. They're like, just tell him this. She says, just make up a soliloquy and love sonnet. I don't want him to think that I'm leaving because I don't like him. I really like him, but I love that because they're just like so insane. But then when they're in their alter ego, they have to like fight each other. It's funny.
Yeah,
it was good. It was good. And this film, I mean, again, I'm going back. Like I said earlier, a little while ago, this is my favorite fucking Christmas movie. And I see Chris is shaking his head, but I don't care. And I'm sure some of you that are watching this live or watching it later on and listening to it later on are like, what the fuck is he talking about? This black dude is crazy, but it's a fucking Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie, 100%. 100%. Like at the end of the movie, like the first thing we see basically once we get out of the Cobblepot origin story where he gets dumped in the river by Pee Wee Herman is Alfred is doing Christmas shopping. And they're lighting this massive tree. It's a Christmas movie. And then the end of the movie.
It's not a Christmas movie, guys. Come on.
It's a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie. Yeah.
To me, Christmas movie, I'm thinking like the corny ass movies like on Hallmark and shit. But
this is so much better than that. Because this is a Christmas movie, but it's about superheroes and crazy.
I guess.
Now,
if they made it where it's like a Joker, like the Grinch, he's still on Christmas.
No! The Joker who stole Christmas?
The Joker steals Christmas is the plot. I like that.
Yeah.
But James, you have to look at it like this though. They put Die Hard as a Christmas movie.
That was fanatic fans that are saying it was during Christmas.
I did a Christmas episode.
Not a Christmas movie.
No, it is. I did a Christmas episode of Stories from a Bar centered around how Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I have all kinds of notes.
It is. And so is this.
There's Christmas music throughout it. It starts with them listening to Christmas music, and it ends with them basically with snowing. They're at a Christmas fucking party, for Christ's sake. I mean, Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
I agree. But Batman Returns is a Christmas movie. Not only is it a Christmas movie, but it's the best fucking Christmas movie.
I get. Now, when was this? It has to be fall. They usually plan it. Did it fall around Christmas? I don't know the exact date it fell on.
There's Chris. When it came out,
it was 92, but I don't know the month and the date. Like,
got it. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Really? Yeah, I don't know when it came out.
While that's being looked up, Chris Ellswick.
So it was released in June of 92.
Not even near Christmas.
That doesn't
have to be.
No,
it doesn't matter when it comes out though, because
it comes out on Easter. Like, no, this is a Christmas movie.
but what I'm saying is, They had Christmas theme in the movie. It doesn't have.
I get that. I get that part. I understand.
I get what you're saying, and
I'm going to spin this on you. They had to have it on Christmas because the Penguins, man. Penguin planned his thing because the Penguins would die. They're like, yo, we can't have my Penguins.
It's in summer.
And
the Penguin's like, ah! It's like,
it had to be winter. But no, I get what you guys are saying. It's just like when I look at movies like Die Hard, like I go with the fans. You're right. It's like it's a Christmas movie. Had Christmas through it. But if you look at reality, that movie is about basically a terrorist coming and they're stopping a terrorist. It's an action terrorist movie. It's not fucking
at Christmas, which
God.
makes it
Like,
a Christmas movie.
But the thing about it, like thematically, it is about Christmas themes. But again, it's totally a different take because he's trying to reunite with his family and his wife. But then a bunch of fucking terrorists take over a building.
He's trying to make it back for Christmas. He's like, these motherfuckers.
Yeah. And then he proves like how much he loves his wife by saving her from a bunch of German terrorists and some black guy with glasses.
I guess. I see where you guys are going. It's just I never think of that shit.
But this movie is really about Christmas too, because like, you know, the whole time both of them, Selena and Bruce, are like very alienated and they don't like have anyone in their life. And so they're using this other stuff to fill the void. So like Selena's using work and he's using being Batman.
Penguin wanted to fill that void too, by the way.
What's that?
Penguin wanted to fill that void too.
Yeah, by doing terrorism with his
dude.
circus.
Not only did the Penguin have a that pussy line there, he had a line that involved semi-hard, and I don't remember what it was.
I forgot it too. He had a quote. I was going to write some down, and I totally forgot.
So I really like. Did anyone catch like the Penguin's like his campaign platform? He said, "Stop global warming, start global cooling."
Yeah, I'll be back. I think my internet's back up.
All right. Awesome.
And another line I really liked from the one of the consultants. They said, "Oh, can you wear these gloves? We've done polling and we found that people like fingers."
Yeah.
I thought that was really funny because they're like, yeah, we don't like flippers, we like fingers.
Yeah, like if you pay attention, like I said, when I watched this back then, I never caught these jokes.
Oh,
I didn't know how dirty they were. Like Penguin was he was like rubbing up, he was like all up, like leaning towards them, like sexual harassment all over the place. I was like, I did not remember none of this.
Yeah, it's very sexual.
Laughing. I was dying laughing. That pussy joke, like Chris said, that I was like laughing my ass.
Then there's like they do the thing where they frame Batman and then he's like, hey, let's consummate our marriage or whatever. And she's like, no, I don't want to be with you. And then he's like, how dare you? You put me on. You led me. You showed me all the signs. I'm going to have you spayed. Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
really funny.
I noticed on that too. In the beginning where they had this planned about the Batmobile, I thought he was setting a bomb in it. He took control. There was no bomb. It didn't blow up.
So, like, the original plan was to make it a bomb.
Yeah. What happened to that?
But then Catwoman told him, no, don't make him a martyr. You need to make him a villain. So then instead of putting the bomb, they had. I love that scene where he's in the little toy thing.
Yeah, it's rocking. Goes back. Having sex. The van is a rocking.
Oh yeah,
dude, that was so ridiculous.
He's like just rocking. The whole van is like shaking,
and he's like trying.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was great. That was fucking hilarious. That was great. Oh, really quick with that scene too. Now remember when Batman put the disc in the Batmobile and he was recording with the.
Yeah, he was recording.
When he went back and played it, what he said was different. I only know this because I looked it up. I didn't know it from memory. But what he said when when he was controlling Batman's car, and what he said when he was trying to be the mayor, like trying to take over the mayor's position. When Bruce Wayne, because he was Bruce Wayne at the time, played the CD, it was completely different. But he was pretty much saying, I fucked the city over. Like, fuck you guys. You're stupid. You voted like Trump. You voted for me.
Well, I mean, the thing about like Batman was like doing the classic fake news kind of shit. Like he was just making shit. Like he could have just made like they really should have had a scene where he like manipulates the voice.
Yeah,
just like makes him say his own thing. He just like fucks him over. Like I feel like that's how the scene would play now. Like Batman would like literally be like making him say something he didn't say, and then have it project out. Or like release a video of him saying like, fuck Gotham, they're a bunch of dumbasses, you know?
Yeah.
And then the Penguin be like, it's fake news. The Batman fucked me over. It's rigged. The whole goddamn.
Yeah, it's rigged. I'm not.
The Batman and the establishment fucked me over. That's how that scene would play now.
Yeah, it would.
Really quick, Chris Ellsworth said, this is going back to an earlier thing about the whole Jokers thing that he said earlier about the Jokers. He said, just saying there's just so different. Heath Ledger's Joker is different. He was nuts. The new one was more of like a mental health thing. And I feel, Chris, my personal opinion is with the whole mental health thing, which shout out to Chris, shout out to, what the fuck is it?
Slinky?
I forgot, man. I'm sorry. Slinky's podcast, Chris's podcast. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. I'm sorry. Slinky's Liquor and Pawn. There we go. And the shit Slinky made me watch. Check those out on YouTube and on Facebook as well. Slinky's Liquor and Pawn. But with the whole mental health thing, I think the reason why they went that route is because of, which it is very important that it is being pushed. But I feel like they went that route with the Joker, but because of how much it is being pushed out to the media and pushed out to everybody. So it's like they went with that kind of Joker, the whole, again, mental health thing versus, I'm not saying he wasn't crazy in all of them, but they pushed more of a mental health feel than this motherfucker's crazy, violent, psychotic. Sick.
To me, they brought out all the mental health in every one of them. It's just a couple of them were not just mental health. There was like a dark twist in them. Like you couldn't care about killing. It wasn't just about, hey, I'm crazy walking down the street like a bag lady.
I think each version of the Joker in the movies has been a sign of the times that they're trying to portray it in.
Yeah, good point. That's a good point.
Jack Nicholson did a great job, but it was also 1989.
Yeah,
so you're not getting into that deep, serious, dark mental health type stuff like you did with Heath Ledger, or even the insanity. If you want to say that they were trying to pull off with Jared Leto, but each version of Joker you have to assign it with the time that they were trying to play it in.
And I agree with you that, Chris. And I'll even take it a step further in saying, it was more, which is a bad thing to say, as far as it's a bad thing that it was, I'll say. It was more shunned upon as far as like mental illness back in the 80s versus now. Now, I'm not saying you understand it more.
No, but now it's a conversation and it's out in the public.
You have a better understanding of it on the outside looking in. It doesn't necessarily mean you understand it. Nobody in this world 100% understands the human brain because the human brain is so fucking unique, which is a beautiful thing. And that is just why that's my response. That's my answer to the whole mental health thing with the Joker. As far as the newer movies, and I mean, we can take it to another step. We can even go back to Batman Returns. If you use these three villains, or these three characters, sorry, not villains, two villains, one hero, one ant kind of in the middle. But Catwoman, Batman, and Penguin, there could be some sort of a mental health issue there with those three characters.
Well, it was. Catwoman was like a schizo. Like, whatever happened to her, she was like fighting two sides.
Well, when she got pushed out that window, that's when she was really having those two sides.
But the thing with the Joker, like, I didn't see the new Joker movie. Like, what kind of mental?
He has an actual disorder where.
Oh, so like disorder. It wasn't like schizophrenia, like schizo. It was like a real. They played out like he should be a mental ward. It was like he had a real mental.
Oh, there's a bunch of stuff. Like to do with this.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. That's why
I think there's always been an aspect of it, the Joker, that's touched on mental health. It's just gotten more. It's just gone more in that direction. Mm-hmm. With the updated times.
Okay. I agree. And like I was saying, like back in the 80s, it was more like he's a crazy, violent character versus now it's like, okay, this guy needs help. This guy has issues. It's more of Batman shouldn't be beating his ass. He should be trying to capture him to get him in a facility to get help in a sense. You know what I mean? If you want to go, I haven't seen the movie. I'm just assuming how it is. And I do, just from personal experience with family, I've dealt with mental health, so I know like they need that. People who have mental health issues, you need that help. You need to get that, whether it be therapy, whatever the case it may be, you got to get that help. And like now it's more open, which I think is a great thing. And again, people, your mental health is very important. It's just as important. If it's more important than your physical, as far as like going to the gym, mental health, like doing whatever you have to do for your mental health, go to the gym for that. If it's therapy, if it's doing mental reps, whatever you got to do, go to the gym for that, for your mental health as well as your physical health. I will say that. Just to get on a serious note with that, and then I'm gonna get back to the funny shit, the fun shit. It's like with Batman, because he still has that pain of his parents dying, getting murdered in front of him. That's gonna fuck with you mentally, one way or another. It's gonna fuck with you. For him, it was being like a hero, a Dark Knight, a vigilante. Like, I gotta protect my city. I don't want other people to have to deal with this shit. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to destroy these villains to the point of killing these villains so where they won't exist. Because without these villains, I don't exist anymore. Like, without these villains, I don't have a purpose. I feel like that's a disability in a sense, okay, with Batman. Catwoman, like James said, she has like that split personality of Selena Kyle and Catwoman after the window thing. Like, after she gets pushed out the window in Batman Returns, it's like, I'm Selena Kyle, but I was really always this Catwoman. I was always this darker woman. I always wanted to bring this more sensual / tough woman out. I just didn't know how, so I was too scared. And it's like she finally got pushed to that limit of bringing that out from being hurt so many times, physically, mentally for a long time, you could say, just between her and her boss, and then physically from her boss, and maybe even mentally with her mother, the way her mother left those messages on her machine and was kind of talking to her the way she talked to her. Yes, Child's Play is a Christmas movie.
I just seen that on there. I was like, oh, geez.
Which is another.
You know, I just realized every character in all these Batmans, they're all got a mental health issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A lot of them do.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. And I mean, Penguin has abandonment issues with his parents. They fucking just, yo, you look crazy as shit. Let's and
dump you in the river.
And I think
that every character though,
you can take it to the extent of his parents were very rich. They were very, very, very rich and very wealthy, very high class. So it's like any quote unquote, and I don't mean this in disrespect. I know it's a fictional character when I say deformities, but I'm just saying like a mental disability or physical disability. I should probably say that. That probably sounds better. It's like shunned upon. It's like, you know what? We got to get rid of this. We got to fucking throw him in the river, throw him in the sewer, so to speak. That's what happened to Penguin, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I don't think so. The thing about Batman, right? So, like, what does he try to do with all the villains? Tries to put him in Arkham Asylum, right?
Yeah.
It's a mental institution. It's a fucked up one, but it's a mental institution.
I mean, you could make the mental argument for any type of supervillain, but yeah.
I thought about Batman, even the heroes. Like everybody in this, you just realize everybody has like issues.
They're all mental, yeah. In these movies, especially, they all just like, especially Catwoman and him, like they're. That's basically what this movie's about. It's Christmas and they're both insane, and then they meet each other and then they fall in love, but their insanity kind of peaks, even goes even higher. But then it's too combustible. Like their alter egos can't coexist. Their regular versions, Selena and Bruce, can exist, but not Catwoman and Batman, and so explodes, and then they can't be together anymore.
Which I like that though. Like I like the whole fact of. Which I kind of wish that they could have had more of a thing with Selena and Bruce, and just a tiny bit, because I feel like this was the perfect movie, in my opinion. But we'll get to that later. But I kind of wish that like they had more of a thing as Catwoman and Bruce, and kind of sort of Catwoman and Batman, but more so to the fact of they have that lust for each other, but they're enemies. Versus Selena and Batman, or Selena and Bruce, they have that lust / possible love for each other, but they're questioning it. And I know it sounds confusing, but it's like there's something about you that I don't know what it is, but I'm concerned. You know what I mean? Like I'm concerned. I don't trust it, or whatever the case may be. Versus like I'm physically attracted to, I'm sexually attracted. This is Batman and Catwoman again. They have like that sexual tension, but we know we can't fuck. We know we can't be together because I'm the vigilante, you're the villain.
Just like you and that skeleton next to you.
No, this is my homie right here. The word
But you get to it. That's the only reason why they can't be together. Like if she went good, she could be his partner, but she knows she's going to do some bad shit, and he's going to stop her.
She's in the middle though, because there's times. If you go to the animated series, there's times where she saves him.
No, but that goes back to something I said early on. That's why Catwoman is so interesting. They towed that line with her since they created her. That
very true.
She could be good or bad depending on the story and how it plays into it.
Yeah.
There's a great line I just want to bring up real quick. There's a great line. So when they do the setup of Batman, and there was that, I don't know what the hell, Miss Gotham basically woman, and they put her up on the roof, and then
Ice Princess.
Yeah, the Ice Princess, and then Penguin pops out, and they do this thing where the bats attack her, and she falls and dies. The bats come out of the Christmas tree. And so then Catwoman and Penguin are talking, and Catwoman says to him like, "I thought you were just gonna scare her." He's like, "Yeah, she looked pretty scared to me." That was great. Where she's like, "I didn't sign up to kill her."
Yeah.
He's like, no, that's what I'm gonna do. I kill people."
Well, I think that's another thing.
I'm a gangster.
She didn't expect it. She's in the movie. She stuck up for the women, like she saved that one woman in the alley. But she dissed her at the end.
And then she slapped her, yeah.
Yeah, so, but the thing is, I think that's what it is. She's like doing like a women's right. Like, I'm sick of tired people walking over women. So
she has a moral hierarchy, right? Like, she's not just out to just rob and steal. And like, when she attacks a Shrek store. Yeah. The store she blew up. Like, she's after him because he tried to kill her. And he's also a piece of shit. He's trying to screw over the city. And so both of them are trying to attack him from different angles. But she also, what?
When Batman and Penguin was talking, and she just comes out, and she's like,
"Yeah."
Did she just say? Did she purr? Did she go?
She says meow. Meow.
Boom, the whole building explodes. I thought that was pretty cool. Like,
that is a great scene. That whole sequence.
Is amazing. What makes that whole sequence funnier though is after that sequence of Penguin, Batman, and Catwoman. When Batwoman, Catwoman, and Batman are on the roof. They show that store in the background, and it's not destroyed at all. After they fucking blew it up, which I only found that out. I didn't notice this on my own. I was reading on IMDb. I should have took more notes for it. I just read it. That's one that stuck out to me. I was reading through like the bloopers or whatever you want to call it, and that was one that stuck out. That was one that I do remember, and I'm just like, holy shit. I never fucking noticed that because you don't really, when you're watching movies like this, like action movies, you're paying attention more to the fight scene than you are to the background.
Oh, yeah.
Once I read that. I was like, let me see this fucking background. And you see the Stacks sign in the background just fine.
Yeah, no flames, no smoke or anything.
Yeah. And it wasn't like it was like a few weeks or months later. It was literally like maybe 20 minutes, hour tops.
And I like how Batman always leaves the main villain. Like, he's like, ooh, a woman. I'll talk to you later. He could have, like, stopped him right there. He's like, I'm going to get her now. And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Oh, what I wanted to say, too, was how I was saying how Catwoman will save Batman and fight him. Joker kind of does the same thing, but Joker, I feel like, does it for a different reason. Joker wants to be the one to destroy / kill Batman versus, like, because I can't think of certain episodes of certain cartoons.
I think Joker wants to mentally break Batman.
Yeah, mentally. I think you're probably, but he wants to be the one to do it though. He doesn't want anyone else to do it. He wants.
There was an anime series where they like the villains teamed up, and the other ones were going to kill Batman, and he like stopped him. He's like, no, he's mine. Type shit. So yeah, he does have that thing. He's like, I'm going to take him out, but then he had chances, and he don't. I think it's just it's like a big game. He wants to mentally break them.
It's a back and forth between the two because they both need each other. They both feel they need each other to go on.
Yeah.
Because Joker is like Batman's biggest thorn, and of course Batman's Joker's biggest thorn. Even though Joker will team up with other villains to capture Batman, to destroy Batman, Joker wants to be the one to push that button to make Batman go over the fucking edge. He doesn't want anyone to do it. He doesn't want his lackeys to do it. He doesn't want anyone else to do it. He has to be the one to do it. He doesn't care about the money, anything else. Catwoman, she wants to fuck him physically, and she wants to fuck with his head mentally. That's what I get from that. That's all I get from that. As far as she wants revenge for certain things against men, but she wants to fuck Batman, and she wants to fuck physically and mentally. Meaning, like, she wants to fuck him good, make him think about it, but then fuck him mentally. Like, should I hit that again, or should I hit that again?
Should I ghost him?
Yeah.
She likes to ghost him big time.
Yeah, oh yeah, through everything, like the anime series, she ghosts them a lot. She's like, they'll be like she went good. I'd like, if you want to go to the anime series, there was like a time frame where they're like dating for a while because she was like, I gave up crime and everything. Then all of a sudden she ghosts them. It's like, hell no, I'm going back to this shit. I like doing crime stuff, and
yeah.
So they always had to think back and forth. Same thing with I mess up his name. I mispronounce it. Raja Ghul, his daughter. They had like
Raja.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
The daughter is super thirsty for Batman.
Yeah.
Time.
So, but no, this is a good movie. It's like I said, I watched it, and there was so much when I was younger I missed, and I enjoyed it. It made me laugh. I was like, I can't believe I missed this shit when I was younger. All these jokes and stuff.
Yeah, no,
great.
It was good. There was, we touched on it. The couple one-liners that I'm like, I can't believe they included that. With you're just the pussy I've been looking for, and again, I know he had another line that involved semi-hard or something like that.
Yeah,
but it holds up. They weren't wrong that there's a lot of characters and a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
and
it was a little more fast-paced than the first one.
Yeah, it's pretty fast-paced. I know the original versions of the script, the big issue was they didn't have a main plot for the Joker. Or not the Joker, but the Penguin. I don't know what I'm thinking. Which eventually turned into, the storyline of him trying to kill all the firstborn children.
Yeah.
But, and again, I can see why the time frame is interesting. If this was the reason Keaton didn't want to continue on, is because they weren't developing the character. Obviously, when you have so many big names in a universe, you can only focus so much time and attention on them. So you're bringing in characters that you only intend to have around for one movie, so you kind of have to focus on them.
Yeah,
which means you can't really evolve Batman anymore.
True.
Kind of like you did with at least Christian Bale. At some point in that trilogy, you were evolving his character at least a little bit, I'm sure, enough to keep it interesting for the actor and, of course, for the audience. It's a different audience these days than it was in 1990 or 89 and 92.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. And I feel, I guess we can jump into ratings real quick. We still discuss the movie more if you guys want to. But, I'm gonna throw it on somebody else to give the fun rating thing. You know how we do from a positive, from a negative fan to a positive fan, I guess. I'm gonna throw it on Chris. So what's the one thing you can pull from this movie to give it? Like, how many blanks would you give this movie? It's on you, Chris.
I'll give it. I'm gonna give it an 8. I know I gave the 1989 Batman an 8 too, and the only reason I don't give this higher is I think for the time that it's in, it's amazing to see these iconic characters on screen together. It's not enough to really delve in and kind of build that backstory, though, even though they did a great job in the time that they had to bring these characters together. It wasn't enough time, I think, to really build the chemistry and make a deep inner winding story, if that's the word I'm looking for, between the characters. Like, I don't think it was as fleshed out as it could have been.
I think it should be how many penguins out of 10. So
penguins out? No, that's a good way to go. 8 out of 10 penguins.
8 penguins. Yeah.
Penguins. And seeing as how you jumped in and said that and saved that, Ibrahim, how many penguins are you giving this movie?
Yeah, so I don't like this one as much. I think I'm gonna start watching this for Christmas. Like
your Christmas movie.
I agree with Aaron. Like, this is a Christmas movie. I'm going to watch this for Christmas.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm gonna give this 7 penguins out of 10. I don't think it's as good as the first one for me, but I do think it's still good. And there's some like all the stuff with Michelle Pfeiffer is really good. I like their relationship, but I don't know. I just think that these are villain movies. They're not as much Batman movies. And that's, I think, the thing that like the Nolan movies, when we get to them at some point, that's what they get right. Like it's about Batman.
Yeah.
About Bruce Wayne. It's about him and what he's dealing with. And the villains are there, and the villains are very powerful personalities, but Batman is the core. And in this, it's about Catwoman and Penguin.
Oh, and you're absolutely right about that, because the interesting thing about the Nolan movies was the toll it took on Batman when those villains came in. This one was more about the villains, and then just Batman's there to fight them on occasion.
I totally agree, everybody. I'm going to agree. I agree with you. The first one is my favorite still. I think it's just because memories. I watched it so many times. It's like what got me into Batman. So I gave it a 10. That was like the first movie I ever gave a 10 out of all the movies I reviewed. I'm going to give this one an 8. I do, like you said, Danny DeVito, the cast did great. But it, like you said, Chris, it focused on more of the villains. A little more action, but also fast-paced, little craziness, and especially in the beginning, all the clowns everywhere. Batman's just walking around the street, and he could have got shot like 10 million times. For some reason, he's walking by, some punches one, and the other one's ignoring him. But I still loved it. I think it's a good movie, but it's not my favorite. It's just so many memories for the first one, so I'm going to give it 8 penguins.
My turn, I guess.
It's your turn, Aaron.
Okay.
It's your favorite, so we already know. You're going a little higher there.
No, listen. I feel like it was done very, very, very well. I disagree with my counterparts on this, but I mean, we all have our things for this. I feel this movie was a 10. I feel it was imperfect. And going back to what I said earlier in the episode of how for the first movie you had more of that backstory, the origin story of Bruce Wayne / Batman and with the Joker, of course. This one gives you kind of a story of Catwoman and Penguin and why they are the way they are. And you really didn't need that for Batman. Like I said earlier, again, Batman, everybody's part was very powerful, but when Batman was on screen or Bruce Wayne was on screen, like those certain things, there was something said or done that I felt was very important or key to what up, Harvey? I don't know if I said that or not yet, but it was good. But that was very key to the movie. You know what I mean? Like even if it was just a little one-liner or 2 lines or 3 lines or whatever the case, it was really key to the movie. Like Selena Kyle and Bruce Wayne both lying to Alfred, having Alfred lie for them to the other person about why I'm leaving this moment when we were getting ready to have an amazing moment. And that to me just stood out. A lot of scenes stood out in this movie. A lot of things stood out in this movie. And I, again, going back to from my childhood to now, I love this movie as much, if not more, than when I was a kid. As a kid, it's just like, oh, cool. Oh, shit, this is Batman. And now it's like, I understand the story more, if you guys know what I mean. Like, before it was just Batman, fight scenes, Michelle Pfeiffer, first boner, possibly. I said earlier. And now it's like, yes, all that, the fight scenes, Michelle Pfeiffer, possible first boner, I don't know.
So this isn't out of penguins anymore. It's out of too much information.
Well,
It's out of boners.
10 boners, 10 fucking boners, 10 TMIs. I'm giving this movie 10 fucking penguins out of 10.
10 kitties out of 10.
Amazing. I really thought this movie was done amazing. This is my favorite Batman movie. I'm not saying there'll be no more 10s, but this is my favorite Batman movie of all time. And like I've told you guys before, the animated series is my favorite Batman all across the board with characters and everything, story, everything all across the board. But yes, this was a beautiful movie. This was an amazing movie. And for some strange reason, if you're around our age group, which I'm 35, James is 40, Chris is 40. Ibrahim is 27.
I'm 30. Hey, I'm not 40. I'm 37, you son of a bitch.
Me too, bastard.
Ibrahim, how old are you, man?
33.
I keep making up ages for you.
I'm 38 in January. I'm not 40 yet. Damn.
Well, I'm 32.
everybody in their 30s, right? Everybody in their 30s, I'll say late 20s, meaning like 27 and up. We've seen these movies. We kind of grew up with this one and the original one.
Yeah.
And
I mean, this is the first Batman I ever saw was these two movies.
Yep.
for me,
The first I've ever seen anything Batman ever.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, ditto.
Same thing. Yep.
For me, this holds up. For me, this movie holds up along with the original, which I gave them both 10s. The next two now, people, when we get to those are not going to be 10s for me at all.
No, they're fucking bad. But you know, I do think that they when we talk about Batman Forever, I think has some interesting stuff. Batman and Robin is an absolute piece of trash. Just trash.
Well, yeah, out of those two, Batman Forever is the better one.
Yeah. Like Batman Forever, you finally get the actual character development for Batman in this series.
You
I
might
mean-
have one-liner jokes that might giggle,
Yeah.
a little bit, but the storyline and the characters, it's just trash.
I mean, Batman Forever was gonna be the sequel to these first two movies. It was gonna be the third movie, and then obviously it went in a slightly different direction with all new people and everything. So I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to going back and watching it now. And
yeah, me too. Because like I said, it might surprise me with some things.
Yeah,
I also think Chris O'Donnell was a good Robin
Yeah,
as Dick Grayson. I think he's really, really good. Like for the time, he's really good to me. They fuck up everything because it's super campy. But they got that right, and I feel like even kind of got. I mean, the origin isn't totally right, but at least you cut out all the, in this universe, there's no Robin who's a kid.
yeah.
So at least we get a grown-up Dick Grayson, and he has this connection, and like you get some really good scenes when they talk about like there's a great scene in when Dick Grayson first figures out that he's Batman. He's like, yeah, you need to help me kill Two-Face because he killed my family.
Yeah.
He's like. You think revenge is gonna make you feel whole? It won't, and I know because I've lived my life trying to get revenge for the people who killed my family. It's not gonna work, and at some point you'll realize it. But I'm gonna try and help lead you away from that.
Yeah.
So we finally get some good stuff, but then there's just the campiness just destroys it, unfortunately.
and it's funny you say that because campiness was the big fear when with the first Batman movie when they cast Keaton and everything. They were scared. The studio was scared that they were going in the campy direction, like we talked about last week on the Keaton was known as more of a comedic actor at the time when he was cast for Batman.
Yeah, and he's very dead serious. He's really like. He plays him with that psychology where you can see like there's something's moving in his head, and I feel like all the most of them. I mean, but like once you get to Batman and Robin and he pulls out the fucking Batman credit card, it's just
and the bat nipples.
It's so campy that you can't take anything seriously in it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so unfortunate.
I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of fucked up comments about that one.
Yeah, we should.
You already know I'm going to say something crazy.
Yeah, we know you're going to say something crazy.
But listen, people, I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank everybody for watching in the present or the future. We greatly appreciate it. Popcorn and Pints, the Z Network. We had a great time reviewing this fucking movie. And we're going to be there's more people on the Z Network. For one, there's more shows on the Z Network. We're going to be a very entertaining network. It's something that you guys want to look out for.
It's growing.
You want to listen to, you want to see grow. And I mean, again, funny. You're going to get a lot of laughs. You're going to get a lot of what the fucks. Why did you say that? This is just what we do, and we're good at it. I'm telling you, we're just good at it. It's fun. It's funny. Fucking Michelle Pfeiffer was a great Catwoman. Boner City, and
swing
badass.
Seriously though, like this is fun.
This is Wayne's World,
and I know you guys are used to seeing myself on the horror stuff, which I'm gonna continue to do that live, and I do want to announce this again. I did announce it last week and also last Wednesday. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so it's coming Wednesday. 9:00 p.m. I am doing a live podcast and I know Chris said last week he was going to do it.
Oh, are we doing that? We want to do that Wednesday? I'm happy to hop on.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Oh Jesus! Oh boy, I might have to join.
Anybody who wants to be involved in the episode is welcome. I will say this: we'll do up to, because I already know Chris said yes, James is saying yes, Ibrahim, you're a possibility because I could tell by the way you shook your head yes. I mean, feel free to say no, man. I'm just throwing you on the spot.
He's like, I don't know if I can watch that one.
I don't know if I can watch Thanksgiving, man.
Oh, man. It's an amazing movie. You don't have to. That's cool.
Although, like, I did see someone talk about that movie, like, recently. This other person, horror person, talking about Thanksgiving horror movies, and they talked about that movie.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
The first line is nice tits, bitch. You can't get a better line.
It's so cheesy. It's fun. It has some really funny moments.
Listen, can we live stream us watching the movie? Because I feel like that's the way to go.
I mean, you can. You'll get shut down.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's the only thing I'm afraid of.
We gotta follow the rules on that one.
They'll nuke your Facebook page from orbit.
I'll say this.
What about if you do it like YouTube? Can you pause it, talk a minute, and replay it?
That would be great. I would like. Okay, if we're doing that, yeah, I'm up for it.
Do you have any idea how long it would take us to get through that?
Oh, it'll be all night.
Who cares, dude? I'm drinking hardcore for that.
I honestly don't know if we could do it like that. I'll look into it some. But either way, 9 o'clock Wednesday, Horror with Search 30. It'll be on the Horror Search 30 Facebook page, as well as the Network Facebook page, as well as the Horror Search 30 and Z Network Twitch channels. Thanksgiving. And you can watch it for free on Tubi. And it's fucking, I love it. It's my favorite horror comedy. It's a fucking hilarious movie. And I mean, Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to be doing that.
And by the way, I'm taking the credit for that. I told Aaron for 2 years to watch that movie, and he blew it off. I'm not watching it.
No. You didn't tell me to watch Thanksgiving. You told me to watch Rubber.
No, Thanksgiving first.
No, because Thanksgiving I watched before I met you, before I started working with the state.
I don't know about that one. Okay. I'll let you slide on that.
I'm in love with that. Like that movie, I own that movie now. I don't know where it is at this second. I would pull the DVD up. I'll pull it up Thursday or Wednesday.
I can't wait to watch this shit.
You gotta watch it. You're gonna enjoy it. Make sure you're drinking some though.
Yes.
Good drink.
But I'm gonna say to you like this, people. If you've never seen Thanksgiving, turn your brains off. It's a turn.
Yeah, you gotta shut your brain down.
It's if you're a smoker, smoke. If you're a drinker, drink. If you do both, do both. Watch it.
You gotta do something.
Have fun and enjoy. I watched it sober and enjoy.
I watched this over too.
Get crossfaded.
Enjoy it, and then tune into the fucking show because it's going to be hilarious. It's going to be
gobble, motherfucker.
Yes.
Gobble.
There's so many quotes. You're gonna see a list. If you look this up, there's so many one-line.
Gobble, motherfucker.
Yes.
It's great. It's funny stuff.
I'm sold.
That being said, let's close out this episode.
Yeah, we got to wrap this up.
Yep.
I'm going to do my quick plug.
Old man have to go to sleep.
Horror with Search 30 on Facebook.
Me.
Horror with Search
I'm
30.
fucking exhausted.
Yep. Me too. I'm with you.
Check out Horror with Search 30 podcast all across the board. Check out the Z Network all across the board on YouTube, on Facebook. And I'm going to point it to you, Chris.
Stories from a Bar. You can catch the podcast on through the Z Network. Join the Z Network Facebook page, the Stories from a Bar Facebook page. You can find the show, of course, on Instagram, Twitter, Apple, Google, iHeart, YouTube. There's Podbeam, Stitcher, Spotify.
All over.
There's anywhere you would expect to find a podcast. Stories from a Bar. Do me a favor, subscribe, spread the word. I greatly appreciate it. Moving on.
Ibrahim?
Yeah, so check me out, Deep Focus Cinema Podcast. You can find that where all your podcasts are sold. It's everywhere. It's also on YouTube, and there's a Twitch channel. So if you want to follow and comment like you did on this live stream, be happy to have you come by. So tomorrow, got another podcast coming. Continuing my list of top 100 movies of all time with my co-host Lucian. So we're covering another 10 films. This is going to be part 3, so we're sort of 30 films in now, finally. And then next week I'll be talking about the movie Contact for the sci-fi portion of my podcast. So yeah, check it out, Deep Focus Cinema Podcast. wherever all your podcasts are sold and on YouTube. Thank you.
Nice. And again, people, this is the Z Network. Come check out the Z Network. I mean, Popcorn and Pints, you're going to get all types of movies and shows, non-horror movies and shows. You're going to get some entertaining shit.
2.5 hours of nonsense like this was.
Oh, fuck. You're going to get a bunch of... I'm going to tell you like this. You're going to get entertaining nonsense, which you want to see on the internet and YouTubes and your live streams. You're going to get all that funny stuff. And then some. You're going to get some shit. You're like, Aaron, why the fuck did you say that? Because I did. And, yeah.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
Oh, God.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker. This, again...
I can't wait. I'm super excited now.
Christmas movie of all time. And I'm going to go ahead and say this really quick. Thanksgiving, go ahead and watch it because it's the best Thanksgiving movie of all fucking time.
Better than planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yeah.
Best of all time. That being said, again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening.
I want to go to bed.
Me too.
These old fools want to go to bed. I'm still wide awake because I'm a young buckaroo. Let's keep popping for popcorn and pints. Sip your drinks. Pop that popcorn. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. It's the Z Network. Peace.